Secured Roofing and Solar. I had my roof done by Secured Roofing and Solar.
Your house looks awesome, man.
Mo DeWitt had his roof done. I know a bunch of listeners had their roofs done. If you have any sort of roof problem or you think there may be a leak, they do a free inspection. You can go to Secured Roofing and Solar, fill out the form, or this is even easier. Jake, he's actually the owner's son. Here's his number, 407-403-8038. Text them and say, hey, I'm a Tom and Dan listener. I need a roof inspection, or maybe you're interested in some solar and you want more information about that. He can take care of you, and that's a personal contact, and you have direct access to the owner's son.
But tell him you listen, and that's the important part is, we have these great relationships with all of our clients, and it's cool because, we've kind of gone backwards in customer service land to a point where we want you to contact directly them so they know that you're listening to us. It's just old school business, and it really does work. It's a great way for the client. It's a great way to start off on the right foot. When Secured sees that, so Tom and Dan, they're happy.
Just for you guys and for your own benefit, you're going to get a little extra because
they're
like,
to the sun.
They're like, Tom, this is one of Tom and Dan listeners.
Go to Jake.
I want to provide a great experience, even though they do that with every customer. It's just, I believe that you get a little extra if you know a guy, right? Like, I'm telling you, get extra.
You do.
Emergency tarping services, if you do have a problem, so you don't have any more leaks, they can come usually between 24 and 48 hours and tarp your roof. So if you're looking for a new roof or you want more information on solar panels, it's securedroofingandsolar.com.
It is another Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Dan.
I'm Tom.
Hey, welcome back from your big Thanksgiving holiday. And Sam is here as well. Sorry,
I'm here.
Sam. Yeah, Sam is here. Welcome back from the Thanksgiving holiday, the official time of year, I think, for most people. When you go and you do your Thanksgiving and then you come back, you know that Christmas is a-coming. It's on the track. It's chug-a-lugging. It's moving towards you. You better get them moving. You better get your decorations up. You got to put up the tree. You got to decorate the house. You got to get the lists. You got to buy the stuff. You got to plan the meals.
Yeah, so much work.
It is
My God.
It's a lot of work.
I feel like there was a time where this wasn't this much work.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to figure out when this was.
Cowboy time.
Well, yeah, but you were dying of your tooth rotting out.
Some would choose that. Would you rather work in a barn to keep your horses alive, or would you rather go to the mall? I think you'd rather work in the barn.
Because, you'd
pick barn, wouldn't you?
I went to the mall a couple weeks ago, and it was a nightmare.
It's rough. You got to know how to navigate it.
Because the Florida Mall, which is super busy.
Well, it's also a good one, though, because they got the good stores there, but you got to know how to navigate it.
Because you could say that it's never been easier right now to Christmas shop because you could do it online, right? So you don't even have to go to stores.
That has burned me too many times because it's very difficult because now with now people are paying reviewers to get on there and lie, or you know what I mean? Like reviews, there was a sweet spot when reviews meant something where they were well written and articulate, and but now I've been burned too many times buying stuff on Amazon. I get it, and I'm like, man, this is some chintzy crap.
You got to read the reviews.
Yeah, but
even the reviews are wrong.
But you could scan through them and get kind of the gist of it.
I'm an old school. Let me hold it in my hands.
So it's never been easier now because of the internet.
That's
as far
what
as
they say.
You don't have to go to stores and the malls and all that, but the internet has also created tons of more tradition and things that we have to do now, like the elves, at least for
you don't have to do the elves.
But it's like the keeping up with the Joneses, with the decorations and stuff.
But you don't have to do that. You can weave your way out of the tail if you want to.
No, you don't.
You just choose not to because you don't like hurting anybody's feelings. Once the elf is going, you'll elf till you're dead.
All I'm saying is it more now?
Yes,
or is it
more now.
Was it
Maybe
more work in the 80s or 90s?
Hold on.
You know what I'm saying? Is it easier or harder now?
Hold on. Here's my hot take.
Oh.
And you're not going to like it. It's exactly the same. Because some traditions have gone to the wayside, a la, I don't do a big Thanksgiving spread anymore, but I'm not going to say that day wasn't difficult in the things that we were trying to pull off. So you'll lose a few, right? You'll lose some of the cooking, you'll lose some of the recipes, you'll lose some of the elves along the way, but new things will creep up and will end up being the new traditions that you and your family continue. Like you.
Yeah.
Like you, for instance, the Croom, that's a great one. Your Thanksgiving tradition is one of the finest in that I think you guys could do that until you're dead. But some of these things are going to age out. Some of them aren't going to work anymore.
No, I know. I'm just trying to figure out
the same.
if it's more work or less work now, and it could be the exact same.
Well, if you cow down to peer pressure, it will be more work.
Right.
If you feel like you have to do the elf on a shelf, if you have to decorate your house, then yeah, it's more
I don't think he feels like he has to. I just think I summed it up pretty good.
Society pressures.
Yeah, but you're not. That doesn't affect you. What pressure?
it does.
Yeah, because my sons hear it from all their friends.
Pressure.
Yeah, but they hear it if all their friends are doing it, then they're wondering why aren't we doing it. So then that's I'm saying that you're going to get that pressure. I'm just trying to figure out if back in the 90s or before social media and before Amazon and stuff, if that was more work getting ready for the holidays or if it's less work now because we have the internet.
Okay, let's analyze it a little bit.
Because people could just order everything. They don't even have to go to the store at all.
I don't think I bought one thing in a store.
Yeah. You just order.
Because the thing I went to the mall for didn't even end up buying anything. Wasted time.
Yeah.
Okay, there are certain things. Okay, I think as far as getting gifts, I think I'm going to give the check to future. I'm going to say it's easier in the future. But as far as lights, I'm going to go with the future. You can get companies like Mosquito Nix.
Yeah.
There's another company that I won't repeat, but around in Baldwin that you can use. Way more expensive than Mosquito Nix, I'll tell you that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, you can. So if you don't want to do your lights, you got companies that'll do it. Let's see. What else?
Yeah.
What else is the traditional stuff?
So
baking?
maybe easier now.
It is. Okay, I'll go with that one. You can get gourmet,
Catered
friggin'
food.
badass restaurants. Like you can get Ravenous Pig to cook you a turkey with all the sides and the trimmings, like better than you can ever do. And don't fight me on that. Better than you can do. Porky's can smoke one. Guaranteed he can smoke it better than you can, and you can buy it.
Insides. Yeah, you don't have to do anything.
It's not going to break the bank. It's usually pretty reasonable for those things.
But then, like, if you go back to the 90s, like, you didn't know what anybody else was doing except for in your neighborhood. So until your neighbors started putting up lights, then that was your trigger, or okay, maybe it's that that time or whatever. I know it's always been after Thanksgiving, but it's kind of been whatever the neighborhood did, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But now it's instantly you're being inundated by pictures of all your friends and family's lights and displays, and that is triggering you to do work.
You are the majority.
As opposed to your next door neighbor.
You are in the majority. As I sat on my balcony with my potato of a West Highland Terrier, who I have a story about. I did a bet with the family. If Dansby Swanson, the shortstop for the Atlanta Braves, decides to leave, or second base rather, is he second? No, he's shortstop. If he leaves and goes to the Mariners, which is rumored, then I agree. The entire family agreed that we will change the name of the dog to Guy Fieri.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Because the same hair. And Andrea was the only person that voted against this. Me and Maisie voted for it. That's how it works when you got three people in there. See, it wouldn't work in your house because you'd get a 2 and 2. It wouldn't work. Me and Maisie voted for Guy Fieri. And Maisie says he has the same hair. It's white. She loves Guy's Grocery Games. That's her favorite show. I'm forced to watch that every single. She switched.
She's old meme all the grocery games.
I think she looks at it. She's like, it looks like my dad. I'm gonna watch it. I
didn't know Guy Fieri was still on TV.
Dude, his show is bigger than it's ever been.
I thought it was his height was 2010.
No,
people love him.
People love him, including Juan, Christine, people in the True Six. There's a myriad of underground support for Guy Fieri. And if Dansby Swanson chooses to play the world's most dangerous game, if he wants to get paid out right after his wedding, because his wedding's coming up, my bet was that he wouldn't want to rock the boat in Atlanta. He's a Georgia boy. My vote was that he wouldn't want to do that to his fiance and to his in-laws and to his family by up and trying to chase the money like Freddie Freeman did, you dog. And I think I might be wrong. And then if that happens, we are naming that dog, or I'm sending in the paperwork to Missouri to physically change his birth certificate to say Guy Fieri Dennis.
He doesn't have a birth certificate, does he?
He does. This dog's got papers, dude. Yeah.
Well, papers are
it's got his mom's name and his dad's. His mom's name is like Chattanooga Choo Choo Thompson 69.
Chattanooga Choo Choo.
And then her dad's name is like Santa's Little Helper of Love. And then they got those crazy horse race names.
So, how was your Thanksgiving? I know you went to
Can you hear
the Solar Bears game.
I'm going crazy.
So you went to the Solar Bears game that was early afternoon, though, right?
It was right at noon, right?
He's trying to change the subject on the Guy Fieri dog thing because he feels sick. He gets a soft spot for Andrea, and he's like, I feel so bad for her that he's like, we got to get off of this because this guy's going crazy. I'm changing the dog's name if Dansby Swanson leaves the Braves. That's in stone. So would be said, so would be done.
You're going to change the dog's name. That's insane.
All right. Don't bet me on this. I will go to the ends of the earth. I'll kill myself to change this dog's name.
Because you already have so much equity into
got a whole
that
Instagram
name.
page.
Yeah, you changed the name too. I think it's like
I don't think
$10.
you can do that anymore on
No, it's like
Instagram.
$10. You used to be able to change it. Anyway, you were asking about my Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Let's start with Maisie bouncing off the walls. Got up. So she got up like it was Christmas. She got up like 5:30. She's like, it's hockey day. Got it, bouncing off the walls. We get situated. We get our clothes on. We dressed inappropriately with jeans and, because we're thinking, we want to get in the holiday spirit. We want to get in the Thanksgiving spirit. And I ended up going back upstairs and changing into shorts. It was just too hot. I carried a sweatshirt just in case I got cool. Yeah, it was just hot. But so we made our way. The plan was to do Thanksgiving with the Solar Bears. Cannot speak any more highly of the Solar Bears staff, the people that were there. When you walked in the door, by the way, more people there than I thought. Like, there were a lot of people doing a unconventional Solar Bears hockey day. If you bought a little bit of merch at the merch table, I think it was like $50 or something. We could finally made our way through the merch thing. I got a hat. Maisie got the polar bear outfit.
I saw that, yeah, the head.
And then they gave us crazy Thanksgiving shirts that say, I'm thankful for hockey, like free shirts.
Nice.
It's got like the shades, like hanging out with a turkey. We got to see shades, get our photo made with them. The group of people that were there, DeBerry Joe, Mike B was down there, David was down there, a bunch of other people, listeners, were kind of like integrating in there, just having a good time. And man, it was awesome. It was incredible.
And so, but you still got out of there, like 2 p.m. or whatever, and plenty of time for dinner that night, right?
Did you eat there, like a lunch?
We got some snacks. I had to see if the Amway's popcorn is as good as my own popcorn. It is not.
Oh.
Not throwing shade, just, facts
just
are facts. It's small batch. I do small batch craft popcorn where they can't even come close to what I'm doing. It's like Sierra Nevada versus White Label Mabel. So drinks are flowing. I'm having a couple ice cold draft beers, couple of little what are they called? C pluses, C minuses, Coors Lights. And,
is that what they're calling?
Yeah, C minuses. I think that's what the kids are calling them now.
You know what I noticed?
What happened to Crispy Boys?
That's Bud Light.
Yeah.
That's C minus is a Coors Light.
The amount of stores that are closed now on Thanksgiving,
it's crazy.
Basically every Walmart, Publix, and I'm happy about it. Even though I needed some last minute stuff for our camping trip.
Yeah, I'm glad people are with their families.
And then I was like, we needed some those tiny camping propane things, ours were empty, and we're like, we need that. And then I'm like, I wonder if Walmart's open. At least maybe I was like, maybe they're open and they close early, and we looked and totally closed. Yeah. And then I'm like, good. I'm glad they're closed. They don't need to be open.
Yeah. We don't need any more stomping.
Yeah, I don't need this stupid propane. I'm glad this store's closed.
Man.
I'm glad these people are not working.
Cold.
I'll figure out a different thing.
I'm a real cowboy.
I don't need.
I got a cast iron and some wood. We'll make it work.
But I know you mentioned that inside the Amway there was Gringos wasn't on, but it's good. The employees don't need to be there. Gringos.
Man,
there's some other gray hot dog. You know what I'm saying? It's fine.
Yeah, we were fine, and we went, and the people were so sweet. The Amway employees are so nice, and I went out of my way to wish every single person I came in contact with a happy Thanksgiving. And me and May kind of made it a game where we're going around and we're like, Daddy's got to get another beer before they close down on third period, so let's go, come on. So we ran up there, and I got myself a Coors Light, made my way back down with Maisie. The listeners were making fun of me because the steps at the Amway, are the incorrect length for the length of my legs. So when I walk like you walk carrying a beer, because every step is like, go!
Yeah.
Yeah, the lower bowl, they are bigger
They're
steps.
steep, man. And for a little guy like me, I'm like climbing Machu Picchu to get a beer. So I climb Machu Picchu.
I never thought about the actual
crazy.
The step ratio is taller for you.
Dude, you have no idea.
Yeah, Sam, it's just the ratio.
No, it's harder for her too. No, it's harder for her too.
She's taller.
You're in the sweet spot. You got to be the 5'11" to 6'2". That is where you want to be, man.
I'm not that high. I'm
5'10",
5.5.
Oh man, don't let your spine shrink. So I get my Coors Light. I'm walking back down. I set it back into the cup holders. I don't know if you know, in lower bowl, the cup holders, and I don't know if they were designed like this, or I don't know if it's from use, but the lower bowl cup holders, it's a circle. It's a metal circle, and you take the cold beer and you place it through it, and then it just holds it by the top of the cup.
Oh, the
Yeah,
rim?
like the ring.
Not the rim. It kind of holds it by the circumference, the fat part of the cup, right? And it holds it in there.
The cup kind of tapers down and gets small, so it gets thicker at the top. So when you set it in there, it right around the top.
And it works pretty good. Now, some of them, and I don't blame the Amway or anything, because look, man, that thing has to be put up, taken down almost every night of the week. God bless those people that are putting it together, because it looks terrible. So I go to lift my cup. I'm like, oh, okay, this will work. Some of them, though, have this metal rod underneath to catch the bottom of the cup.
Sure.
Mine didn't have it. Or it did it. I think it did, and it was like stuck down because, Solar Bears weren't playing so well. We were having a rough season. We're having a little patch. And we go to score a goal to even it up. Brand new Coors Lights in there. I stand up, just stood up. I put my hands up. I'm like, yeah! They cut, Jumbotron, everything. It pulled, when I stood up, my beer, I'll use this Diet Mountain Dew as if you can see this on twitch.tv/Tom and Dan Live. It pulled my beer down. And then it proceeded to trebuchet rocket my beer into the face of a small child.
No.
He's like, hey! She's like, cacao! And I didn't realize it because it's so loud in there. You don't even realize it didn't get it on me. It went completely behind me.
Okay.
I didn't get one sip of that damn beer.
It.
I didn't get a sip of my beer.
Splash
I look
zone.
back and there's a small, tiny. There's a
Covered in Coors Light.
Yeah, covered in Coors Light.
Poured a beer on a baby.
I poured a beer. No,
You're the bad one.
And this baby proceeded to take off his Tom and Dan shirt.
Oh, it was a Tom and Dan baby.
It was a Tom and Dan baby.
Of course
it
it
was
was.
a lifter, and this baby proceeded.
That makes it okay.
This is a tough boy. This little. By the way, he was dressed to the nines when I saw him. He had little boots, jeans. He had a Tom and Dan shirt. It looked great. He took his clothes off, his shirt off. He left his jeans and boots on, and he would whip his beer-soaked shirt.
Oh, I think I know who that kid was.
And he's in the BDM group,
Yeah.
and you can see him. And his dad's just a wonderful man. And I bought him beers, and I'm.
You bought the baby a beer?
I bought the baby a beer. I bought the man a beer before I launched a beer into his son's face.
So
I think his name's Dave. I might be saying that wrong, but
it's John.
John, is it John? Sorry, Dave. John, Dave.
So
I could be wrong too, or there might have been two small children with their
No,
shirts
it
off.
was just one. But I'm running on adrenaline this morning.
So this kid is going to have a memory in the future where he tells his friends or his wife, he's like...
He seemed unfazed, by the way. This kid is tough.
One Thanksgiving...
Yeah, Dad does it all the time.
Yeah.
One Thanksgiving, my dad brought me to a hockey game.
This drunk guy.
Where these
And this little person that
podcasters...
couldn't walk the stairs launched a beer into my face.
And I had the shirt on. It was this podcast. The wife's gonna be a podcast. I haven't heard of that in a decade.
Yes, yeah.
And it'll be the equivalent of radio in the future.
I felt so bad.
And then
Is it John? Did I get his name wrong? I probably did.
And then-
John, sorry.
one of
trying
the
to find it.
podcasters, he's dead now. He poured a beer into my head.
One of them.
And then I took my shirt off and I swung it around like a
Whipping it
helicopter.
around. Yeah, he was
Petey
full
Pablo.
on. Yeah,
There it is. What a reference.
he was whipping it around like Petey Pablo, and we were just. It was a good day. It didn't stop the fun. It did. Nobody was mad. It wasn't an episode. I felt bad. Andrea did
Has
make
an innocent accident.
Andrea
I like
is
that.
a cheap person. She did make a comment about how much was that? $14, and you poured it on the
Ooh,
kid's
good
face.
point, yeah.
And she said she's cheap, and she got mad.
I do like, and I'll give it to the BDM parents in this scenario where they didn't freak out, get mad at you.
No,
or
it was an accident, man.
Or they weren't appalled, but
No.
they weren't some people are
They partied
appalled by
through it.
accidents.
You do that at an NFL game, then your wife starts a fight. And then, you're
Yeah,
dead.
that's what I'm saying.
Then you're
I see
dead.
it every week.
Every week, the wife starts the fight.
It's like you're holding two beers that are literally so full that they're ballooning over the top,
Yeah.
and then
There's a meniscus on the top.
you're trying to do the tiny walk sideways, and you spill you spill a little beer on the person who's sitting down in front of you, and then they turn around and they act like you smushed poo in their hair. Like
you made me eat poo.
Well, it was like, hey, don't you realize this is an accident? Like, you turned around, like, I did this on purpose, or like you're super mad. But I mean, I understand you being like, oh, well, but if the person's like, hey, I'm sorry,
Yeah.
Right.
People make mistakes. Why do people take it like it's a
personal attack?
A personal
yeah.
attack.
Well, this is why Section 118 rules, because the party.
Everybody's spilling beer on everybody.
Man, that kid, he was the toughest. That kid, shout out to him. He's a future BDM. He's the sweetest little dude you could ever see. He didn't even, he was unfazed. He was like, that's fine. I'll just whip this.
Go Bears, go Bears.
Petey Pablo, go Bears. And and then after that, we ended up going to 2J's because, we're thinking, well, we probably need a real dinner. Let's try to get at least something in Maisie other than, just garbage. And so we made...
2J's is an odd choice for a Thanksgiving dinner.
We saw their ad, right?
If you would have said, do you think 2J's will be open on Thanksgiving, I would have been like, no.
Really?
Like, I wouldn't.
Where are old people going to go to eat Thanksgiving dinner?
I didn't know that 2J's was a destination for Thanksgiving.
Aim for the Jewish deli, man. I'm like, all right.
I go to Earl of Sandwich, so I'm with you.
Yeah, so I just like...
I guess sandwich places are...
They all have a Thanksgiving sandwich.
Well, but 2J's is not just known for sandwiches.
I found the baby swinging the shirt, by the way.
Okay. Was it John? I guess
John.
John. Yeah. Sorry, John. I mean, I don't know. I went with boring name. I'm like, it's got to be a boring name, like mine. Dan, John, Dave. But to John and his son, you guys are the best. Anyway, I'm at 2J's. We walk in. Andrea made a reservation. We are the youngest.
Wait a minute. A reservation for 2J's?
It was effed. It was wall to wall. If that place,
it must be known for their
most
Thanksgiving.
of the people in 2J's with us immediately leaving 2J's died in the parking lot. That's how old. Everyone in there was 117.
I thought old people stayed with their family.
No.
Or they have no family.
Old
They're
people,
too old for family.
Old for family.
Too old for family.
I'm kind of in that.
I guess you get to a certain point where if you outlived all your family, and
I
then
did.
The only ones left are so young they don't want to hang out
I'm
with
an
you.
early adopter to this whole, your family dies thing. So I go with all the other people that don't have family. I take the two people that love me, no blood, just May, the other person, no blood there.
Was Maisie the youngest?
Oh, my God. She was the youngest.
By 70 years.
By 70 years. By 7, at least, no.
Besides from you guys.
66, maybe.
Okay.
But it was, we got an awesome punk rock waiter with 2 danglers. I made a comment. He didn't like the comment about his danglers. So I had to tip him real good. I was pissing everybody off accidentally. My chirping could get me into trouble at times because a waiter, it could be suspect. Because Andrea had the audacity. I mean, I'm really going heavy on her today. Is she in there? Andrea goes, it's Thanksgiving. She goes, I'm kind of feeling like I don't want to use the coupon. I'm like, on Thanksgiving? God, no. Are you crazy? Don't do that. Put that down. I almost tackled her. I was like, what the F are you doing? You're so cheap. Why do you got to be so cheap?
Well,
because you give the coupon to the guy with the 2 danglers, and next thing you know, they're spitting your turkey pot pie because he knows you're wanting half off, and then you're not going to tip.
No,
and all these old people swirling around him aren't tipping. They're not tipping.
With the coupon, I do agree with you. Where I do feel like they feel that you're only going to
tip. Like you're a cheapskate. Yeah.
Well, but you're only going to tip.
That away.
What the total was after the coupon.
Yes,
and you're not supposed to do that. You're supposed to tip the total.
Of course, and everybody. But I feel like I need to tell them, because if you give them the coupon without telling them, like, listen, I'm going to tip on the, this is just screwing your company, which I know you don't care about. You care about your tip,
but then you have to over-explain.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I would rather just not give them the coupon at all.
You know who's ruining that? You're right.
But
you're right. You know who's ruining that for people? The people that explain, use the coupon, and then lie and don't tip. Because there are those people too that will explain, and I'm going to tip you on the thing beforehand. Don't worry about it. And then they get in there.
Because then you leave before they see you. Or you tip on the discounted amount, which is ridiculous. Yeah, like the person did the work for the full amount.
You pay at the table now at 2J's. I'm surprised they did that with all those old people in there. I was like, man, they'll take them a long time to get out of here. So we hauled ass.
What time did you go? Were you there peak old time?
3 p.m. Baby.
Early bird special.
No wonder everyone is old.
The gross ones are coming in. Yeah. And what I mean by that
is, because if you go at 8, then you get the divorced dads and all the,
That's fine.
You get the alcoholic dad.
Now, the old people that are gross, and what I mean by that, the ones that are a little scalier, the ones that sometimes they make noises. They got the crusty breathing.
Yeah, death is around the corner.
They're blowing their nose all
Yeah.
the time. They're gross. They slobber. You know, they're wet. They're wet old people. So, but Maisie loved it. Food was great. Everybody got what they wanted to. I figured I'd give you a rundown of what we got. So, little old man got a traditional turkey plate.
Okay.
It had cornbread stuffing. It had turkey. It had cranberry. It had mashed potatoes. It had green beans. It had, what else did it have? It had carrots. It had...
This sounds great.
It had dessert that came with. I got like some sort of fudge pie or something. It was amazing. Really, really good. Andrea got shepherd's pie, which I thought was a weird choice. My daughter went extra weird and got cheeseburgers.
Okay, that's fine.
Thanksgiving cheeseburger.
She got 2 cheeseburgers and fries. Her cheeseburgers were delightful.
You had 2?
2 cheeseburgers.
Oh, like little sliders?
Little sliders.
Oh, okay.
Fresh baked bread, though. Their bread, oh my God, man. And then hers came with a black and white, one of their black and white cookies. It was great. So, yeah, we did all of that.
I like that.
It's a new tradition, I think. I think we're going to always... Maisie goes, well, what if Solar Bears aren't playing on Thanksgiving? I said, well, that's a good question. I said, here's what we'll do. We'll call it Sportsgiving, and I promise you, I'll try to find a sporting event somewhere in Orlando or around the surrounding areas. Even could go as far as Atlanta. And
You'll find something.
I'll
Yeah.
find
Yeah,
some
yeah.
sport, and we'll go to the sport, and we'll hoot and holler, and then we'll go to
I feel like
a dinner afterwards.
sports and Thanksgiving have always, combined. The NFL has been doing it, obviously, forever.
I can't remember it not being on.
And but I feel like because of the NFL and how popular that is, like other sports like Solar Bears and
Yeah.
other minor
It was
league
great.
teams are going to always do sports on Thanksgiving. So because it forces your plans are already made.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If you know you're going to find some sporting event, and then it's like, all right, I don't have to think of anything to think it will be sporting
it's our
event.
crew. No,
Yeah.
I see that because the way she loved it, the music and everything. She likes and then she got to see
just doing something.
Yeah, and she got to see. Here's something that the Solar Bears organization did that I thought was really cool. They are all about the families, and I love that because obviously we have young families. And the keeper, not the goalkeeper, but I guess the scorekeeper behind the actual goal that runs things, and he's got a job to do out there. And the warm up beforehand, they were taking practice shots, both teams. He went by and got some of the pucks that were stuck under the edge of the ice, and they're frozen. It's snow all over them, and he scooped them up, and then he came out and he handed them all out to the kids in our section 118. So he gave these kids these ice cold frozen snow pucks with real from the game. They had dings in them where they'd hit the glass and stuff like that. Maisie thought that was the coolest thing in the world.
That is cool.
It was really, really cool. They do it right. So shout out to Solar Bears, and thank you for making my family extremely happy. It was great.
And again, we'll be out at the December 16th Solar Bears game, the whole show, and we got a bunch of friends of the show going out. So if you want your tickets, go to tomanddan.com.
Yep.
And we're section 118. You can get your tickets through there. Welcome to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. Samantha, our producer, is here. Hello, Sam.
Hello.
I almost said Sam, our lovely producer, is here, but I thought I'd get written up by our non-existent Human Resources Department.
You could say lovely. I feel like
I'd have to
that's
actually
not,
ask her. Sam,
Let me look up the definition.
would it be
Lovely,
okay if I said lovely? What if it said lovely? Someone you lust after and you want to lay on top of.
No, come on.
It is weird that you pulled up that photo from my
Somebody
bachelorette
sent
party.
it to me. Somebody sent it to me. Somebody sent me that photo.
Why
I've
do you
been
look at the
framed. I've
photo,
been
bro?
framed. What am I not supposed
like
to look
8
at my
years
email?
ago, bro.
Somebody sent it to me, man.
Yeah, Daniel's looking at
I'm
a picture.
not looking at it. It's
a-
not what she's fully clothed. It's 2 naked men.
No,
So you can say that. You
or
can
is
say
it not
Daniel was
naked?
looking at 2 Chippendales standing next to Samantha, who's got a smile on her face that says, "I am uncomfortable."
Yeah, that's true.
It is a horrible smile. I look
like,
at it. I'm like, yeah. You're like,
Help.
you look like you're in a wind tunnel.
All of our merch that we had at the
All
Beer
right.
Fest
Good transition.
is on the site right now. So if you want anything for Christmas, I'd get it now before
Limited
it sells
quantities.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like
we also
our-
have the new beanie.
out. Yeah, the
Yeah.
new beanie, the new hoodie, the event shirts.
hoodie, the no beanie.
And we've got a bunch of BDM shirts. We've got a ton of different merch. The straw hats, kids' straw hats. My sons love their kid size straw
Also,
hats.
if you're a dainty gal and you like a smaller action straw hat, you can purchase one.
Oh, did they fit? Remember,
They
we were
will fit a
at the
woman.
Beer
They'll
Fest.
They will not
Probably
fit
fit
me.
me.
Oh, okay.
They will not fit me. I have a normal size head for, even though I am a little person, a lot of people don't know that. I'm going to start this, dude, because I think I can get a lot
I don't think you can say
I can
that.
get handicap parking.
No,
It's
I
stolen
don't think-
valor. It's only stolen valor if I wear a tiny army outfit, right? If I allow, what's happening?
Can you?
No, I can't. Nothing can be done anymore.
No, I'm just saying.
What is the definition of a little person?
We went over this. It's below 5 foot, right? You're 2 inches too tall. I think it's below 5.
Always 2 inches too large.
Or is it below 4.5?
I think it was like 4'6".
I am always 2 inches too large for everything. Yeah.
Don't do Little John yet.
I'm little person John.
How's Little John doing?
Under 4'10". He
not
has a
even
new
close.
show.
Yeah.
It's like a home improvement. Not even a home improvement. It's almost like
Everybody's got a
Pimp My
home.
Ride, but it's Pimp My House.
No, nobody. We're done with that. Oh, we put some fur in your computer room.
So it's Pimp My House?
That's not what it's called, but it's very similar, where they like trick out your house.
We're done with. There's no more ideas.
So
No more ideas.
What is
All
it?
ideas are gone.
How big of a deal do they make it?
It's called Lil Jon Wants to Do What?
That's what it's called. I
Yeah.
love your Little John, by the way.
Hold on, play the trailer. Because
It's on HGTV. It's a new home renovation series. I have yet to see it, so
they're not like adding additions to the house or doing something like
I haven't
major-
watched it.
Or they just do decorating the inside. Like
I think it's just the inside.
they're putting a pool table
I'm
in
looking
there.
for it. Hold on. Is this the season 1 intro?
A lot of these shows have gotten a lot of bad publicity because after the fact they will put on social how
They're making me
shoddy
buy it, dude.
how shoddy the job is.
You can't find a clip on YouTube?
Like they'll rag on how bad of the work they did because all they do is make it look good for that segment, but they're not putting any craftsmanship into the work. You know what I'm saying? Like they're half-ass the whole thing, and then they take off after, and then you're left with like a half-ass shoddy decorating job.
It's because it's for show.
Yeah.
You know,
but they've been getting a lot of bad press because then the person will go back after and be like, "Look how bad the work they did, and they left my house."
I feel like that press though is both parties are in the wrong. You know when these people are coming in that you're not getting the craftsmanship of like Bob Vila and a team of artisans, right? You know you're not getting
Or just-
handcrafted woodworkers from the
Or
Black
just-
Forest of Germany to come and engineer this to be
Yeah.
the strongest staircase that's ever been built for the handicapped person or the best bedroom or nothing is the best.
Yeah.
So you know
You're
that
getting
going into it.
straight Opalaka
Quick
contractor.
Quick. Whoever's in the area, they just get 100 contractors. Like we got to do this quick, and then those guys get 100 migrant workers. They've got to do it quick. And they pile it all in here. We're like, this has got to be done in 2 nights.
I feel like they probably have someone on their crew that designs sets and stuff like super fast for movies, so that they just design it so it looks good in the actual show.
It'll function it'll function for 2 days.
And then, but I'm sure
you know
they let
that
the
going
owner
into
know
it.
that, so it's
You
like,
know that going into it. The only one that I would give it maybe a pass to would be the kind man, and he is a kind man. The man who is the host and creator of Treehouse Masters. When you and I had the flu in Philadelphia, we laid in bed together. I don't know if you remember this. In separate
didn't
beds.
we interview Treehouse Master guy?
In separate beds. I don't know if we did or not. It all runs together.
I
I
feel
can't
like we
remember
did.
anything.
I feel like you did
But
too.
he is the nicest man. And I feel like that guy actually, when he builds the treehouse, he builds it to last, right? I feel like
but
that
those
guy,
people are paying $200,000
Yes.
for a fancy
he's got to make it
treehouse.
safe.
Yeah.
He's got to make it safe. But these people that you're like,
Hi, my name's Billy. And me and my daughter, we live in this double wide, and our mother died in a car accident 15 years ago, and we ain't got nothing.
and they come in, they swoop in, and they're like, we made you a swimming pool with 2 slides, and we gave you a hot rod room with all of your NASCAR gear everywhere, and a bed is like a NASCAR. It's all crap. Every single
I got
piece
an
of
idea.
it is crap.
Can we? 2023, right? We're at the end of the year.
Tom and Dan want to do what?
Well, okay. So for next year, can we bring back once a month, just once a month, an old school '90s radio promotion
So we do 90s. So a 90s.
Yeah.
So once a month we find.
So, like, for instance...
Well, Mr. Beast is already doing this.
No, we're just copying Mr. Beast.
Take that, Beast!
Who's copying 90s radio. But, so...
You big tooth fool!
One of my favorite 90s radio things to do is you make the intern's car, you pimp out the intern's car, right?
But you do
you made me drive the grift truck for 5
We
years.
did this to Ross's van, and he wouldn't let
That's
us do
true,
it. He wouldn't let us do
want to do it again.
Ross was like,
What was
'cause
Big Tim's
yeah, you know Ross is
machine
that
gun
was a
van or
scam.
something?
You know how Ross has that element of calm anger? I think he'd agree with this. Where I think we're at the auto parts store when we're like, hey, can we put these Transformer Decepticon stickers on the back of your car? And Ross was like, if you do that, I think I will get in my van and drive away. I think I remember him saying that. And I'm like, well, that would be justified. We shouldn't do that. And then we didn't do it. We bought the stuff. We just stuck it in a bag and drove home.
Because I remember when Chunks from the Hideout
Oh, how dare you bring up radio royalty like that on our podcast.
had his, like, Honda Accord pimped out by a local, like...
You get a company that's just...
Car company.
You get a car company that's just... okay to completely ruin the integrity of a stock automobile. Like a stock automobile is made to not be taken apart.
They painted it. It
was
looked
like pink.
absurd.
It looked, they did it as a punishment.
But they actually put
It's
like
the same,
they put rims on it.
It's all radio. All radio hijinks are you find a person that is in a lesser position than you. Then what you do is you make them think, and they don't even have to think this. You just tell the audience that you're doing them a favor, and the audience is like, yeah. And what you're really doing is you're really jackhammer BFing them by destroying their car, right?
But they don't care about the car because the car's garbage. But then after they
can't
bitch
get
about
back
it.
at you at all because you are of a higher power.
Yeah.
It's the what's his name? It's everybody in Hollywood. It's the Louis C.K. It's like, you have more power than me, so I'm like, hey, we're going to pimp your car. You want that? Yeah, it's going to be great. So we're going to spray paint it pink, and we're going to stick...
He's in the corner.
No, but my point is that you're taking a person that doesn't have any power, and you're like, the only way for you to still be on this program is for us to stick dildos all over your car and spray paint it pink, and you have to drive it around. Ha, we said we were doing you a favor, but we're not.
And if you do this will give you the promotion, publicity. This will make you famous.
You gaslight them into thinking this is going to help their career. And then they do it because they're stupid.
And it doesn't help.
It never helps their career. It's just a memory on the belt of the big fat radio guy.
The thing is, I say it like we say it doesn't, but it did for me. Like it did a little bit, right?
But you like to work. It's different. If you could get the eyes on you, you have to be willing to work.
Yeah. But then if you are,
you also don't care. You don't have any feelings. You're the perfect person to do this. You're literally, this would never happen again. But you're the Beatles of Stump Boys because where are you going to find another Stump Boy that doesn't have feelings?
But I say don't.
Sam?
I would tell everybody else don't do it. But it did work for me.
But I would say more. Exactly, I did it because I would say more people know who Drunky the Bear is than Tom Van.
Oh, yeah, I know. And that doesn't really translate.
Yeah, exactly.
Especially, I always like it when someone's like, I miss Drunky on the radio. And then someone's
like, I'm on the radio 5 days a week.
That's a new shirt. That's a new shirt I'm going to put out. It just says, I miss Drunky.
People tell me. They're like, I miss you when you're 1 minute of comedy. I miss you. And then I'm like, I do a show every day.
We don't like that.
And they were like,
Yeah. Hey, when are you going to
what do you miss?
Hey,
I'm not doing it.
You know what they miss.
Hey, man, I was always hoping you'd spray paint Butler's car pink and stick dildos all over it.
It is odd when you tell someone they miss you, and
like you're dead,
and then you're like, "I do this." You can listen to it, like, no.
Well, mine's even worse.
Why'd you say it?
I think mine's even worse because people go like, "Man, I miss you on the radio," and I'll be like, "Well, I do a podcast and I am on the radio." They're like, "No." They don't even know.
They want Buddy. They want 1 minute of comedy.
And then the first thing they'll say, "Oh my God, I didn't know you were a real little person."
Even if I did 1 minute of comedy on this show, they wouldn't mind. They're like, I still miss it.
I'm like,
what do you miss? Do you miss it? I don't think you do. Also, who, like, if you didn't, like, say I said that to someone, right? Because I didn't know what they were doing, and I'm like, man, I really missed this. And then they told me, well, I do this, and here's how to find it. I would pretend, at least, even though I know I'm like, I just said that, I would pretend to be like, oh, I'll check it out.
Right.
But they never say that.
No,
They're just like,
no.
no.
Yeah, they always have. I'll say
don't
like, well,
listen to that, man.
we do a
Yeah.
podcast. You can go to Tom.
That happens a lot at the
They'll-
beer fest.
They'll cut me off, Sam. I'll be like, well, we do a podcast now. You can check it out at Tom. No.
They're like,
They'll just roll right over.
They're
me
like, I don't know. Well,
Yeah.
I'm like, I think it's easier than the
Yeah,
radio.
you can
now.
type it into your phone.
You push a button.
I ain't got a phone.
And then it plays, and then you're like, oh, gotta get out of the car stop.
Yeah.
I think it's
Yeah,
easier.
and you miss
I
nothing.
think it's easier.
You miss nothing.
Is it harder? I don't know.
We have a button on
Not
our
now,
app.
right? It's
You
2023.
You can hit a button on our app and talk into it and talk directly to it. It goes like literally, it goes to my pocket.
Anyway.
Goes directly to my pocket.
That's fine.
So what
It doesn't
90s?
matter.
Let me ask you this: what 90s bit? There's a ton of classics. I say if we're going to do this and you want to do it right, we're not going to be able to blow our load. You're going to have to start easy to see if it works. So don't start with like your white whale. You got to start with some 90s shenanigans that
I really
you think
want to
we can
do.
pull. I want to paint Tiffany's. No. I want to paint Tiffany's.
Now she's a MILF, right?
I want to paint.
So now it's a different
Hold on a
level.
second. I was talking about helping her paint the salty scissors.
How dare you?
You know what, Sam? You're fired. I got the
We've
taste.
had a lot of problems out of you.
I got the taste. The only way you can get back
I've got a lot of problems with
Yeah,
people.
Sam, you're fired. The only way you can get back on the
Thank
show
God,
is if we
finally.
I got the
Can I
taste.
get a
now.
severance at
I
least?
got the taste now. You get 3 months, just like Twitter. I just sent you an email. It says, "Do you want to still work for Tom and Dan?"
Now-
Click yes or no.
Now, okay, hold on. Now you got me fired up here.
I got a
because-
little taste. My teeth are fizzing.
Because if I know anything about 90s radio,
Yeah.
the hosts, you have to prey on the people that are vulnerable, right?
We don't have anybody vulnerable.
Well,
here.
okay, back to Tiffany, because I was texting Tiffany
I
earlier
don't want
on.
her. She's a
Why are
mom
you texting
now.
her? She's a married woman.
No,
Yeah,
about her business,
I don't
Salty
wanna,
Sisters.
I don't want to get involved.
No, okay, well, hold on.
She's a mom. You got two beautiful children,
no.
a loving husband. No.
Because I say vulnerable
She's out of the
because she's gone. They're open now. They've gone through a tremendous amount of work, like so much work that I can't even imagine the amount of work it would take to open up a bar, get the menu, the staff. I mean, you have to redo the whole damn thing. There's so many things. Anyway, she was talking to me about like promoting her weekdays, and like she's like, I gotta just promote the weekdays. Our weekends are packed, but that's the hardest part for like a lot of these places. Like how to get people in during like
Same
Work
for
week,
us.
yeah.
Same for us
Yeah.
with our ART&D for God's sake.
yeah. The weekends are booked out. No one
Gotta open up a Salty Sisters there.
Monday
Satellite
through Thursday.
location.
Yeah. And so that's when we invite her in, and we're
Okay.
like, we'll promote the weekdays for you.
Yeah.
But this just comes with a
But,
cost.
I'm standing there with a jug of orange paint.
And there's like,
We need some jack-o'-lantern.
it's hard.
How
Like,
about the shamrocks?
you have to you be able to sleep at night knowing you're doing like
Yeah.
you're like and you justify
And you don't paint them with a
When
brush.
are we doing the sleepover again?
Oh, we can do it right here. I got the cameras.
We have an Airbnb.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, we do. We just have to put toilet cams in
We'll
it.
break all the
I'm not.
paintings off
Can
the
we
wall that
do-
are hanging
can
by
we-
one nail.
Because
at
if-
Tom
Can
home.
we do an old school Tampa style voyeur dorm
Okay. All right.
with 6 of the hottest, internationally beautiful ladies? I'm talking, we got everybody represented. Nubian queens, Asian princess.
Okay.
We got the big Pamela Anderson. We got a BBW. We got everybody. A little something for everybody. 8. We'll have to do 8 beautiful women of all shapes and sizes in the Tom and Dan voyeur dorm.
Okay, and then people just go and watch it.
Yeah,
and-
let's see who's in the bedroom. Oh, look, she's reading. Oh, who's in the kitchen? Oh, look, they're making ramen. Who's on the toilet cam? Uh-oh.
Please find the twister.
This is the time.
People will watch it, right?
100%.
Ask
At work, when
ask
they get
Twitch.
fired.
Can we put it on Twitch?
They're waiting for it. They're already saying.
Yeah, you could put it on Twitch. You wouldn't have. You could not
No
do
nudity.
You couldn't do any nudity, and you'd have to be real careful
That's for
with
the Discord.
with asses hanging out and stuff
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
that.
yeah, but you could do like something. What can
Sorry?
you? What can you
His
do?
brain shut down.
What can you do on Twitch?
Because walk around
no
in
drugs and no nudity.
You walk around,
That's
you walk around in your bikini.
No guns.
Can you do bikini?
You can walk around in a
bikini's
bikini.
fine.
You go hot tub. You can go in the
Maybe
hot
some
tub.
Fairville
We don't have a
outfits.
hot tub.
Then you got to do that really weird thing.
Fairville.
We can borrow the inflatable one we gave to the BDM.
Yeah.
We'll put that in the
could
back.
never be deflated,
Yeah.
though, he said.
We have some grass problems.
Yeah. Do we? We still have the grass problems?
Well,
There's been a wolf
we
that's
got
been
a lot
going
of
back there and peeing on all the grass, and the grass is turning brown because we got a wolf, or coyotes.
Malachi's revenge.
We got some coyotes back there been peeing everywhere.
Just should we update the pictures because the grass is not looking like that anymore? Like I feel like
it's fine.
I feel nobody even goes in
Nobody
this.
goes back there.
We should have never put grass. God damn it!
Let's keep it on
What a
brand.
waste.
Let's keep it on
I paid
brand.
$500 for that grass.
Let's paint it and keep it on brand. Paint the grass.
paint it green.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There you go.
I don't think anybody cares.
It'll be on brand.
No.
Nobody goes back there except
No.
for the wolf that's back there. There is a coyote pack that lives in the back of our Air T&D, and they pees all over the sod.
Like, is that all it would take if we started just heavy into the 90s and then we did the voyeur dorm? And
90s are back.
yeah.
Like,
well, that
would-
part of the 90s
could
isn't
we
back
kill
there,
it?
right?
Could we kill it? Because that's easy to do. It's against everything. Or like, actually, we never said we hated it.
I think
we
it's
love
hard
it.
to find.
It's a love-hate.
Is it hard to find
I love
ladies
it.
that are willing to do that?
Well, you have to pay them. Well,
No, we'd have to pay them in exposure. We were never paying any of these girls, and none
yeah,
of
but times have changed. Now they got the internet. To,
the voyeur
know.
dorm girls were getting free room and board in exchange for them walking around in their pajamas and like thongs on the thing, and then occasionally sneak in each other's beds, or you're going to shower cam.
Yeah.
I think
Well,
I just subscribed for shower cam.
we just have
Sam,
to-
look up voyeur dorm and look up the history of it. I want to know what happened. When did it fall
doesn't
apart?
exist.
When did it fall apart?
It fell apart when social media, I think, became prevalent because then
People
everybody
are like, "Do you need help?" And they're like, "Yes, we do," and then they left.
well, everybody could just do it themselves. Now, essentially, that's what
OnlyFans is.
OnlyFans is. Voyeur dorm. It's just they do it themselves, and they're like,
For some reason, it's not as much fun with them doing them themselves. I like thinking that
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
a man in the sky projecting the beams to the internet, and then I'm really in there, looking at them.
Well, yeah, the it's like a reality show, right? It's
Yeah.
they're walking through the house.
I bet
you're
it went
looking at
longer
them.
than we think.
I remember. Listen, I
From
remember
August
when we.
1998 to June 2000, Voyeur Dorm generated over $3 million from subscription and sales.
God damn. That's
Upon
impressive.
learning the local law enforcement officers were investigating the business in 98, Voyeur Dorm wrote to Tampa's zoning coordinator to inquire about whether the city's zoning codes apply to the activities at 2312.
Don't write to the shut your mouth. Don't say anything. That's what we're doing.
That's the problem is that then all of a sudden you get nosy neighbors. They're like, oh, they're running off.
God, I saw them with their breasts exposed.
They're running some sort of
Cat house.
sex
You're running a
operation.
house of
in like a
ill
neighborhood.
repute.
Yeah. So anyway,
Interesting.
Okay, so
there's that.
what would we start
Can
with?
we put our hand? Can we do the hand on the something?
The Mr. Beast?
Oh yeah, or the Wii for the Wii. Like
We could bring Wii for a
for
Wii.
Wii?
Wii's aren't like people don't want Wii's anymore, and there aren't any Wii's.
I mean, what an old. I have an old one.
Let's do. You hold your poo for an Xbox. There it is. There it is. Hold your poop for an Xbox.
We're like, oh, he's dying.
I'm poisoning my body. I just want a Series X.
And you're like, Big Rick, it's only been 3 hours.
I can't do food trucks, brother. That was my Big Rick.
All right. We got a lot done here.
Did we?
So we got to start with, what are we going to
We need
start
to
with?
talk to
Okay,
Mo.
here's the one we start with. We start with a classic and we go easy. 3 couples, all kissing.
Okay.
The first one to pull their lips apart
Okay.
loses. The winner gets, got to be something big.
Yeah.
What does the winner get?
Like
all expense paid to Sandals Resort. There you
Okay,
go.
all right. Oh.
Caradonna trip to Sandals
Well,
Resort.
we need Caradonna or Sandals to pay for that.
Well, they're all going to lose. There'll be some fine print in there. It's like,
yeah, as long as we get the company to put up the prize, then we could do it. But
Yeah.
we need some sort of other revenue stream. That's not going to get us attention.
I just don't think we can come up with a prize that is fancy enough for what we're trying to pull off, right? Like, my first idea would be we get a motorcycle, a mediumly priced, good.
From like Seminole Power
from Seminole
Sports.
Power
Okay.
Sports, right? And then we get the motorcycle and we do the hand thing that way. And my dream would be that some big fat grandma won it.
Okay.
I love it. I love when prizes go to people who can't use them. That's one of my favorite things.
How long, like, because you have to legally have a bathroom there.
Why do you legally? I don't understand that.
Because they'll sue you.
For what reason? You're opting into this. I'm not telling you, if you need to use the restroom, leave and use the restroom. That's not on me.
Yeah.
I don't make the decision for you to hold your poo-poo till you die. That's on you.
But they do. But then when they die, their family sues us.
No, but that's un-American, man. This
They're
person,
like,
That's actually the most American.
well, but I hate that. You chose to do that, and you're going to blame me. I offered you a motorcycle. This is how you repay me by suing me.
Well, the argument is that you put them in a situation.
No,
that
they came here,
but they couldn't. Like they wanted to win the motorcycle
but that's not
so
my
bad.
fault.
They killed themselves.
That's not
Based
my
on
fault. That's mental illness, and they were crazy for motorcycles. That's not my fault.
Yeah, no,
for motorcycles.
Well, I agree with you, but I'm just saying what I believe Mo would tell us.
I hate that.
They're like and listen, people have been fired all for this real bad. Although I don't know if it was because the threat of a lawsuit, because of the lawsuit, or like if they won the lawsuit. I think they just got fired because the company didn't want to deal with it.
Yeah.
But like we don't have any money, so we're protected. Seriously, like we're protected by a lot because we don't have the money. Like we're not a $1 billion corporation. $1 billion corporations get scared; they're going to get sued for millions.
I mean, I feel like I could argue in court, even with no Mo needed. I think I could argue in court and go like, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I never told this person that this motorcycle is ever going to change their life or make them a great person. They should be smart enough to know that if you are hurting and need to go to the restroom, you go to the bathroom.
But then you lose.
You don't. That's on you. You understand the stakes, and you also understand that a motorcycle is not as important as your life. But if you do think the motorcycle is as important as your life, who am I to take away that right?
But then that's what Mo is arguing. Actually, Mo doesn't take this. He distances himself after.
Yeah,
He would not even touch this.
But whatever.
Not with a 10-foot Mo.
Like that's what our attorney would argue, but the prosecuting attorney would get they would villainize us and make us look like we created a situation that was dangerous for people, and then they wanted to win so bad that they put themselves in harm, and therefore it's on us. But then when they do their discovery and find out we have no money, then case is missed. Because then the person's like, well, I can't even get any money. That happened with Adam Carolla. Like that's why those the
patent trolls,
like the patent trolls stopped their lawsuit. Because I followed him at that time when that was going through all that.
That was the closest we ever got to Adam Carolla. We had a meeting with one of his producers, and he was like, "Yeah, what do you guys want to do?" And we're like, "They're coming after us too. We're gonna get with you." And they're like, "This is great. We're gonna rally." And then they ghosted us from then on out.
Well, because they dropped the lawsuit when
now we don't need you guys.
Well, when they did discovery about how much they were misinformed, or they thought he was making way more money off his podcast business. Now, obviously, 100 times more than we do, and at the time, I'm sure millions, but not enough for the patent troll to go after, because it costs a lot to go through with this, and they thought they would be able to get a lot. And a lot of times the settlement is just like, hey, we'll pay you $800,000 just to get away. But they don't have, like, I'm sure Carolla's business at that time didn't have a bunch. When you're talking about gigantic corporations, they have that kind of liquid money sitting around just to pay people off. And that's what a lot of these trolls do. Well, they'll just sue to get paid off. But once they figure out they can't get paid off, they'll leave. And that's it. So you almost not having money is your defense against lawsuits. I'm pretty sure. Because they won't sue you for
You're
they can't get
convincing me.
anything.
It sounds great. Write that down to Ask Mo, Sam.
I don't think they'll sue you, because even though we could be sued out of existence, like our company would be done, but they won't get anything, so it's not even worth their time to ruin our company for what? You know,
Just to be petty.
Yeah, well, there is that.
But that's not what lawyers do.
But, yeah, most lawyers are not.
Yeah. And then for
That
those
would be
kind of
me,
things.
Dan Dennis, lawyer, the petty lawyer.
Now, if we killed your grandma because she couldn't poop for days, then maybe the grandson would sue us because
she didn't need an Xbox anyway.
She lived a long life.
Well, she did it for her grandson.
Yeah,
Who's suing us now?
Been doing that. You should be at home watching Judge Mathis.
Welcome back to A Corporate Time. Let's do some Weird Job Wednesday.
All right, buddy. Make sure I got the money here. Or the button here, not the money. The money. Tom wanted to do a bit. He called it Weird Job Wednesday. Dan really likes it. Tom says that's bullshit. It's another Weird Job Wednesday. What are you doing? What is your job? Are you neat? Are you tidy? Or are you a fat slob? Do you make lots of money and you sit up in your tower looking down on all the people who are working by the hour? It's a Weird Job Wednesday. Just another Weird Job Wednesday. Oh yes, it's Weird Job Wednesday. Just another Weird Job Wednesday. Thank you, Tom. Thank you.
Weird Job Wednesday brought to you by Streamline Florida and Streamline California. Talk to them about temporary interest rate buy downs. That's basically a way for you to buy a house right now while the market is basically slowed to a crawl. And
TIBD is what I call it. No big deal.
get it cheaper, get the temporary interest rate buy down.
TIBD.
And then refi out of it once interest rates go down. It's just talk to Streamline. They can figure it out for you and see if it's the best decision for you.
TIBD's nuts.
Christina's on the line. How you doing, Christine?
Hey.
So, Christine, what weird job would you like to talk about?
Oh, my current job. I am a director of product for a healthcare tech company.
Director of product for a healthcare tech company.
This sounds about as like middle of the road, working for like the healthcare industry.
Yeah.
What is it?
It sounds
like,
never ending, right? It
If you
sounds
go somewhere, where do you go, Christine?
I can become like a product owner. So I started as a product manager. I actually I'm at the highest tier right now. So I run the quality assurance software. So I write all of the requirements for software that actually runs lasers that are used for cancer treatments all around the world. We're in every country, our machines.
I was talking to Andrea about this last night. It's funny, like, because she mentioned the laser thing. She was kind of explaining to me what she does and what you do and all of this. Because my wife works, like, I'd say, what would you say, in conjunction with or laterally in some way? Like, but yeah, this is like, so Andrea started telling me what she did last night, and this will tie into Christine. She started explaining what she did, and then I was like asking what Christine does, and she started explaining it to me, and it was the first time in my life where my wife has explained to me what she does, and I have no idea. And it made me feel dumb and old. It made me feel like this is the part of my life where I start to become a little old man.
So, Christine, a lot of times I'll hear someone explain their job, and when they explain it to me, it sounds insanely complicated when they just give me the gist of what they do. But then if you really dig into it and narrow it down, then it's easier than I expected, right? Like, for instance, my buddy used to work for Orange County, and he's like, every morning I have to balance all the books and depreciate all of Orange County's assets, the trucks and stuff.
Crazy.
Yeah. And then I'm like, oh my God. And then I'm like, well, and then I dug in more, and he's like, I just go to the Excel and I hit enter 15 times and the Excel does it for me. And I'm like, well, okay, then your job is go on a computer and hit enter 15 times.
You're not really doing anything.
Yeah. The program is doing it for you. You're just
put that on a timer.
Exactly. Anyway, so Christine, is it anything like that? You just hit enter 15 times.
Oh, yeah, I just write a lot of things in Word documents. But It's really easy if you're really good at it. If you're really bad at it, everyone knows. So currently, like I assume you guys know everything that's going on at Twitter. All of the fallout is happening because of a lack of product management. So people are making the wrong decisions, and now there's this firestorm of. So every time like something you like does something bad, like when Instagram moved from chronological order to introducing ads, everybody hated it. That's the decision of a product management team. So the things that you either really love about like the apps that you use or the programs that you use, really good product management. The things that you hate is also the result of that. So you have this team that's working on the requirements and then sending it over to engineers to develop it and release it. So anything that comes out like botched bugs in a video game, that's bad product management, bad releases. But then when you get excited about the new iPhone release because you see Tim Cook announce it at like WWDC, that's really good product management placement. It's understanding your market, and it's understanding how you're going to sell that vision to consumers.
So am I correct in assuming that you do a version of this for the software that's all across the globe for cancer patients in the medical field? Your job is to manage the overall company's directive and message of what needs to be done for this particular piece of software, and your job is to make sure that it all stays congruent, organized, and exactly the way that you guys wanted to execute it.
Yeah, exactly. And not only that, but then it needs to remain competitive because we need a serious market share. We're not the only ones in the industry.
Right.
So what can we do better? And how can we make it easier for the user so that they continue to buy licenses for our product?
See, this gives me anxiety only because, like, we've never really looked at our company this way. I'll use us as an example and then apply it to Christine and her job. Like, I think we do subconsciously. We look at what everybody else is doing and we try to make ourselves, you know, like we have cameras in here, we have lights in here. That, you know, it wasn't like we just woke up one day and said, hey, we need this. You know, there's been a progression here. So naturally, we try to follow the trends, but not to a point where we're pandering, right? Like, we don't want to follow every trend and feel like we have to stay doing everything, but we do want to evolve to a point where we can survive. So what you're describing to me is something I don't think I could do just based on my personality. That sounds like a lot of stress.
Well, Christine, I'm going to start asking a new question for these weird jobs because it got me thinking.
Have you ever had a weird, you had to go to like a sorority house or maybe
No. It's, I want to know.
Yeah, building products in the Seychelles Islands. Yeah.
Yes.
All right, Christine, I'm going to ask you, this is a from 1 to 10 level question. And because I asked this to my friends because now everybody's
Does your wife swing?
And in their 40s, like all my friends from Miami, and I'm fascinated with the coast level of their job now, right? Because they all have different jobs: Harlem mechanic, government, teacher,
wetland scientist, or whatever.
The one elevator mechanic, and like all these different jobs. And I'm fascinated with the coast level. Follow me.
What kind of bearings you got in that thing?
No. I want to know how easy is it for someone to coast and do basically nothing.
Yeah, that's what I mean by bearing. Keeping it smooth.
And can you? And now some people are just ultra motivated and they want to do a good job. But I want to know is like, can you just put it on autopilot, get up, do a couple morning emails, and then basically do nothing for the majority of your day? I'm talking 10% or less work through an actual 8-hour workday.
All right.
Because that's a sweet benefit to a lot of jobs is like coasting and not doing much for long periods of time. Like these next 2 weeks, I'll just
You're talking about firefighters. I know you're always comes back to firefighters and his intense hatred for firefighters.
No, that's firefighters got it bad with the coast because they could be coasting at like once they finish all their job, but then every once they hit that damn alarm and you got to go Narcan another bum. And then you're like, God, I put on a suit for this. I put a fireproof suit to give a bum Narcan.
Let them die.
Anyway, so Christine, how can you coast, or do you have to be attentive every single day?
I would say 50% of the time I can find like a slow week. It really is cyclical. So at the beginning of a software release, when we're doing all of the planning, I am fully invested. You won't see me on Twitch. Then once we actually start getting into the meat of it and the teams are working on the development and going kind of through our testing cycle, I can take my foot off the gas a little bit and just kind of like monitor. Still have to be in meetings and help communicate. I'm a little bit nosier than a lot of product people, so I like to be engaged as much as possible. I'm always doing research, but just from being like Dan, where I'm an early adopter in a lot of tech, I already know what I'm looking for, and I've been doing this for about 13 years now.
Yeah.
So I kind of know what's next in the roadmap. But then when it is really busy, I am, on calls. I'm doing research. I'm putting together communications to our stakeholders. I'm addressing all of the bugs that are coming out of support. So it is nonstop. So it's either like kind of easy or really stressful.
Yeah,
it just kind of depends on the time of the release cycle.
I think I kind of like those type of jobs because I like the ones that you have to stay on your toes, and it does take a certain level of skill and experience to pull it off. But then if you do pull it off, I like the ability for you to be able to kind of sit back for a second and take a breath and just monitor. Yeah, I like that. That sounds cool.
Do you have to go somewhere, Christine? Like, is this a 9 to 5 scenario, or you're working from home?
I go to my office, and then I go back to my bedroom. I work fully remote.
Oh, wow, fully remote.
This
Wow.
is Coast Central. I don't
Coast Central.
But hold on, can I preface? Because you can say it's Coast Central,
Yeah,
but
I know.
it's only Coast Central if you're hella smart. And I think we all know that Christine is hella smart.
Listen, I'm not saying that coasting is bad or good.
No,
or anything.
I know, but I'm just saying, like, not everybody. If I put the Smoky Giant, my old intern, in her job, there's no coasting allowed.
Yeah. I mean,
It wouldn't happen.
You have to have a certain intelligence level to coast with the appropriate amount of
Coastability.
without your boss recognizing it. There's an art to coasting,
Right, well,
You know what I'm saying? Because when you coast, you want other people to believe you're working hard, and you want your bosses to believe you're a go-getter.
Right.
But the whole time you're tricking them.
Yes.
You're doing
by
the bare minimum.
Doing the bare
Yeah.
minimum
Right.
and just coasting.
Well, I can remember when I stay home from school, like, you stay home from school, like you fake sick or something. I can remember like playing hooky and sort of coasting a little bit, and also realizing the feeling that I got out of it. It's just not a good feeling for me to coast. Like some people are not natural coasters. I don't think I'm a natural coaster.
Yeah.
It gives me
your anxiety's too high to
Yeah,
coast.
it gives me a weird...
You're always thinking someone's going to find out you're coasting, but you got to realize that as long as a certain people think, it's all about what people are thinking you're doing. They can't see you.
Okay.
So they think you're working hard, and then you're tricking them to believe that you're there in front of the computer crunching the numbers the whole time.
Right.
But really, you're surfing Facebook.
Yes.
You got the 10 different sites. You're doing some Christmas shopping.
You're on Amazon.
You do a couple
Yes.
different, then you get into some blog, you're reading them, you're
you're
deep
like,
diving
this
some
is super
YouTube.
interesting. Wow.
Yeah, and you're like, oh, God, it's almost lunch. But it's not almost lunch. It's like 11:15. But you're like,
Yeah,
all
yeah.
right, I'm just going to start a little bit early. I'll come back 1.
Have a couple beers on your
1:30.
lunch.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't do that. That lights the fuse.
You come back, and then, but you come back, and you immediately are like, I'm sorry, I've been slammed. You always say that. In
I'm in the
emails.
weeds.
Yeah, you're in the weeds. You're always slammed. If you just tell people that,
Wait a
you're like,
minute, that's what you tell every sponsor that calls you when you're
Yeah,
late for a
because
meeting.
this
guy's working
I was
his ass
reading
off.
the blog.
Yeah, this guy's doing it. So, Christine.
Jamie Lee Curtis was a man at one time.
So how are you? You're getting up in the morning. You're going to your office, and are you hitting it hard? Are you, you're listening to some Tom and Dan?
Yeah,
You're in
yeah,
the chat room.
He's in the Twitch chat quite often.
I've seen you in Twitch a couple times.
Yeah. You're doing this, that, and then you do a couple emails. Tell us the truth.
So most of my team is actually on the West Coast. So my mornings are pretty light. I catch up on some emails, I eat lunch, and then I'm in meetings the second half of the day. But because I'm on the East Coast, I can kind of dip out. And I'm like, it's 5 o'clock. Gotta go, guys. So but I do have some team members that are in the UK. So it's just a matter of organizing around everybody's schedules on what they need. I'm in a ton of meetings with Andrea, so making sure I'm available. So I can coast, but I have to be a really good listener, or I have to be really good at improv because I have to have answers queued up for any question that might come my way, whether it's from like a support team member,
'cause she's
or from my
tippy-top.
boss, or from the president.
Yeah, because the buck stops up there. Yeah.
Christine, you brought up a great point. To be a good coaster, you got to be a good BSer or improv, whatever you want to call it. I like to call it bull ass. And when someone does ask you a question, your boss or someone in the company,
You immediately reply, "Follow me here."
Nope.
You have to be good at on the fly.
Good prof, man.
Making up some sort of answer to
Business
this
yes
question.
and. It's business yes
Yes,
and.
it is business yes and then if you do that well enough, the boss or whoever in the company's like,
you have confidence too.
this person must have really thought about this all day.
He's literally pulling it out of his rear end.
Exactly. Because if
God,
you
it makes Andrea crazy that I do a lot of that. Like I do a lot of rear end pulling.
yeah.
And I do a lot of I forgot about that, but on the spot thought of a better idea than the original idea, and it makes her so mad.
Yeah.
And she's like, "I hope you don't think you're some sort of genius." And I'm like, "I don't think I am.
No,
I
a
just
good bull asser.
I procrastinate, and I got a big mouth."
Yeah. And then you just learn to bull ass, and then so when somebody asks you a question, and the other person's like, "That sounds
But it
about
makes
right."
planners crazy, and one of the things that you and I do have in common is we can pull some bull ass.
And you have to be ultra confident of your bull ass.
I don't have a lot of that, so I can come in with an idea and then I'll hide behind you, and then you poof up the confidence real big.
And then I'm like, what he said,
Yeah,
what the
this guy,
M-word
yeah.
said.
Oh my God.
But I say that behind the scenes, not on public.
You weren't little guy.
So, Christine, how much bull assing is going on?
So I actually do care about our product. It's also worth millions of dollars. So I have to be really careful because it's going to come down on me if something goes wrong. If we don't hit our revenue metrics for the year, it's going to come down to product, right? Like, why didn't we deliver the thing we said
We would never ask that. If ours ends, it ends. If there's no why, it's just like
revenue metrics.
Yeah, we all go our separate ways.
Is there any, okay?
Yeah, but there's incentive too. So we get bonuses based on how much we make. So I make 20% of my salary based on hitting certain goals. I want that 20% bonus.
Holy crap!
Okay, so you
That's money's that motivation.
Yeah, that's that nerd.
Yeah.
But nerd
Yeah.
bonuses are crazy, man. They're like, if we get the web numbers up to this, they'll give me $47,000.
You brought up a coaster's worst nightmare, which is commission. Because
Arch enemy, it's your kryptonite.
Yeah. Because with any good coaster, you want a steady pay that never changes,
Yeah.
and it always comes in the whatever.
You want one of those jobs that's like, no commission.
Yeah, because then once you bring in commission, then it's disadvantageous for you to just coast.
Coasting is the
only
opposite of
exactly.
commission.
Yeah. You need a solid paycheck on the 1st and 15th, no matter what revenue metrics.
How am I supposed to budget my medical marijuana if I'm if it's revenue based on my commission? I can't do this.
So, Christine, what are we talking? How much is a piece of equipment, like one machine? Because that'll probably blow our minds, right?
They're many millions of dollars.
And do they last
A single machine.
with every?
You can get about 700 MRIs out of each machine.
So follow me with this.
I don't know. I'm making things up. I was good proving.
But Crystal bought me a TV for 4 years ago.
You're still bitching about that damn TV. This thing is a stick in his craw, man.
It was 75-inch. It was the best thing I ever got for football. I was like, this is the best gift you ever got.
Wait, you got a 75?
I got
a 78, I thought.
No, I got a little bit bigger than you.
I have a 72. He's right. I have a 72.
And,
this mother effer.
And then she spent like $2,400 on this damn thing. And it was a grift from a friend, a Sony buddy.
Wait, she did a grift? Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we all did. I did it too. You get the Sony hookup.
But and then now you can buy the same size TV at Sam's Club for like $600. I think 75 is like maybe $850 or something. But anyway, it's way cheaper.
Poor people got like 85s now and 90s.
No, I know. I
got to step up my game. These poor people got 90s.
Yeah. And
so that's Cyber Monday.
So, but then with this medical equipment, these MRI machines and all this, they're millions of dollars, but they'll keep them for we bought this MRI machine in 2010, and then I'm like,
well, you got to update the firmware and the software and everything, right?
But could you buy the same machine for a quarter of the price? You know what I'm saying? Does it go the way of a TV? Is it change that much?
Oh, like a tube versus?
I don't think so.
It's just like the MRI machine in 2010 cost $3 million, but now that same machine is it, 500 grand? You know what I'm saying? Is it?
You don't want old, outdated equipment.
Well, it's everywhere. It's all old, outdated.
Cancer's cancer. They'll find it.
So how does that work?
So it's probably more like Dan's Tesla. So that's the hardware, right? So you have the Tesla, and I run the software. So I'm the one that's sending out all of the updates, the warnings. Is it in recall? Does it need it? Is there something going wrong with the battery? So in order for the hardware component to be maintained, we send all of the alerts to make sure that you're doing the maintenance on it so that you can have it last a really long time. You can interchange the parts, or part of what I do is I run calculations on the degradation of the actual laser, so you know when to replace the laser and when it's no longer performing effectively. So we run quality analysis. There are parts that you can put in to simulate a human's body. It'll run the scatter of that laser out, and it will let you know if you would be able to perform an effective treatment for a given type of cancer on a body part.
Here's a
the
fun
machine will
fact.
then send that back through the software, and we'll let you know if it's good or not, or if you need a replacement.
Here's a fun fact, Tom. I don't know if you know this, but cleaning an MRI machine is exactly the same as cleaning a tanning bed. Same chemicals, same wiping procedures, everything. It's exactly the same.
So, Christine, this may be awkward because Christine works at the same company Andrew does, right? So, Andrew's listening.
Well,
Well, different company,
oh, okay.
but
Same
under
thing.
the same umbrella. Is that right, Christine? Did I get that sort of right?
Yeah, I work for the corporate parent.
Right, and she works for a different...
Yeah, so it may be awkward for Christine to
She could just say, no, I'm not going to tell you that. Or
say her
go-
salary,
yeah,
but as
go
a
She
past-
is missing her commission for getting us a drinking hole or watering hole.
A drinking hole. Hold on.
You know, same thing.
Semantics Drinking Hole. She's got her own website. It's to go to semanticsdrinkingholes.com.
You don't want to look at that website.
I got your
I do want to look at it.
I got your 20% coming in the mail. What's your salary, Christine?
So I don't make commission, I make a bonus. So I do make a steady paycheck every 2 weeks. And I, without giving exact numbers, I am easy 6 figures.
No, okay.
Easy six.
Easy
That's
six.
a big easy
Yeah,
six.
That might be double sixes.
That's 115.
Yeah.
That's what I tell people. I'm like way over six figures.
I would probably double that.
She got insulted and she slapped her face. She got insulted. She pulled out her big veiner. She pulled out a big veiner and whacked it across her cheeks.
Yeah. It's always,
Holy moly! You just got slapped.
it's always a little bit of a neg when the BDMs make more money than I do, or we all.
I
do.
like it when
It's like-
okay. I don't know.
It doesn't seem like that should happen.
I
right?
think you and I have sort of the same thing, but like in different sides of it, because I think it's very sexy when women make a lot of money, and I know you're intimidated by it, but I think it also turns you on. And for me, I think it's like I love it when successful women are
There's nothing to do
sexy
with
as hell.
Women or men. I'm just saying, like they are a supporter of the show, and they listen to us, and they make more than us.
Well, you're
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
so
That's
they
awkward.
should.
Like
So
I
if
always
you-
listen to someone that makes more
If
than
you
me.
make more than us, you should stop listening to the show. Is that what you're saying?
Please don't.
Well,
They're the ones that pay us.
No, I know,
Yeah, you're
but
the
it would
ones
be
that we need.
awkward. Like I make more than these guys I listen to, but you should in entertainment. The entertainer should always be the rich
starving
one.
artist. Starving
Yeah,
artist.
yeah.
Starving artist.
Yeah, but that's at the beginning. They're starving at the beginning.
Oh,
like,
we're still starving.
We're still starving like we ever been.
but then they surpass you, and you can never reach them. And then that's what it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be like an entertainer, and then the listener or the viewer is supposed to make less than the entertainer.
Yeah,
That doesn't work right.
It's different now. We got different
Is it
pronouns
different?
for everybody. People are gender fluid. It's a different time, man.
Christine, thanks so much for doing a Weird Job Wednesday. Congratulations on being rich, working from home.
And being
You
so,
got it.
Being
God,
so
she did
smart
it.
and beautiful
Yeah.
with a lovely family. She has the most attractive family you'll ever see, too. Every single person in her family is like a supermodel. And
That's
it's-
actually true.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, we were going to interview someone who did overnight laundromat, which is, I mean, if you were comparing jobs with overnight laundromat
Quite the spectrum.
to multiple six-figure Christine work from home, make a sandwich every day. Oh, man. People got it worse. All right, Christine, we'll talk to you soon, okay?
All right, thanks, guys.
Thank
See ya.
you. See ya. Tell your family we said hey. She is so awesome. We're lucky
wondering.
to have her as a friend. I don't know why she listens to the program.
I know.
Good Lord. You should definitely be listening to some sort of smarty podcast or something.
Yeah, I always end up insulting her in some way at events. She comes to every event.
And you're like, who are you again?
We're her clowns. It's fine.
Oh, it's the clown. Okay,
Yeah.
I'll do that.
I think we are her clowns. This is a dinner for schmucks scenario.
Yeah,
I'm
exactly.
okay with that. If everybody in Orlando and the surrounding areas, plus all of our worldwide and North America listeners, like look at us like a dinner for schmucks scenario, I'm completely okay with it. If this is your fish tank, I'm glad you enjoy. I'm glad. Feed me. Look at me. Look at that. Look at that. It's still hanging out. I'm trying to wiggle it out of my like a goldfish. I'm trying to wiggle it out. It's still hanging out.
Yeah. We'll take it.
Yeah, it's fine.
But
Like, we're also the guys that don't care if our wives make more money than us. Not threatened by any of that. Like not at all.
Although I wish she made more.
Yes.
Every day I'm like,
I want Andrea to follow in Christine's footsteps so I can quit.
sometimes like I drop the kids off, I go home to doo-doo, and then I'm like, look at the bedroom. She went back to sleep. You back to sleep?
You poop while she's sleeping?
Well, no.
And you sit there and you peek around the corner and you look at her mad?
No, I surprise her, and then she gets out of bed. She's like, "I'm not sleeping." I'm like, "Yes, you are. I see you."
I'm just warming the bed with my face.
Anyway, all right. We'll be right back.
Welcome to another A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Dan.
I'm Tom.
Samantha, our producer, is here. And by looking at her eyes, I can tell right now she is urging you to go to tomanddan.com, sign up to be a BDM, get extra shows, extra parties, and be part of one of the coolest and most fun podcasting groups I can even think of. There.
Well, I can think
It's
of
the
a
only one I
couple
can think.
more fun. I'm not fun at all.
Yeah, look, you're a lot of fun. You're not fun right now.
I'll be at Toll Road on Friday
Yes, you will.
in Ocoee at 7 p.m. If you want to come have a beer with me or just to hang out, we're just be drinking some delicious Toll Road Brewing beers in Ocoee.
Yes.
So I'll be there at 7 p.m. if you want to come hang out with me for the night. And if you live around there, please
It's
come
also what they're calling Teachers Recess Night. It's $1 off draft pints from 3 to 6.
Oh,
Proof of
really?
Educator ID.
Miss Crabapple gonna put her boobies
Hey.
out.
Well, I'll be there at 7. No, no fun. No $1 off for you.
Happy hour's done.
These people, Canadian Josh is sending me how much money he made last year, and it blew my goddamn
Everybody's
mind.
making more money than you?
They're all sending it to me.
I'm about to move up there just for health
Man,
insurance.
Canadian
I forgot
ambulance
the tag.
driver, all rich.
He's an ambulance driver?
Yeah. Canadian Josh, an ambulance driver.
He,
He's high on mushrooms all the time.
yeah, hold on.
That's what he told me.
Better life.
Josh, that figure you sent me, how much taxes, Canadian taxes, are taken out
They
of
don't
that?
take taxes.
They don't
in
have
Canada.
taxes?
Yeah, there's no taxes
Well,
there.
they're double the taxes.
Yeah,
That's
they-
what my pop-up
They
told
Double
me.
the fun.
do. They probably do. You
anyway.
need to talk about the elephant in the room, or I'm going to freak out because I don't know what the
Okay.
hell is happening there. But Santa Claus is on the couch.
Yeah. Okay. Is there an intro to this?
Yeah, he wrote a
Okay.
Merry Christmas
Oh,
intro.
God.
On the couch with us is one of the strangest guests we ever have on the show, but one of my personal favorites. It is our good friend, A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan Trivia Drew, ACT Trivia Drew. Drew, welcome to the program.
Ho, 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 ho.
And he's dressed as Santa
He
Claus.
forgot the last hoe.
I don't know how many hoes there are.
Hey!
Hoe train. Bring
Let's
it back.
play his new song, which is always recorded on his phone. Here it is, his ACT Trivia Drew's holiday theme song.
Oh yeah. ACT trivia, it's Christmas time, you see. Santa's here with his big white beard and his glass so he can see. There you are. ACT trivia, I hope you guess it right. Get it right. Joy to all, kiss my jingle balls, and all Merry Christmas, good night. Good night. Ho, 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 ho.
This segment brought to you by...
I figured out what it is. Drew has this awkward energy.
Oh, man, it's so awkward. Big awkward energy.
BAE.
Bae. You my bae.
It like repels me like a magnet. You know what I'm saying? Like it's
Like when you put them together and there's that weird force that wants to flip the magnets upside down.
Because you know how I'm awkward by accident around people.
I wouldn't say it's by accident.
No, it's-
That's just your personality.
Yeah. So Drew has a little bit of that, and then it's like two of the same magnet where we're like he's putting on the thing, he does the music, and it's all like making me
It's
awkward.
yeah.
Yeah. It's like, I'm just
You're
saying.
looking in a mirror here.
Yeah. I told you. I like people that are like me. I am not.
He hates himself. He hates anyone like him.
No, I don't hate him. It's just. It's like oil and water. It's this
No, it's Man in the Mirror, Michael Jackson. You're looking at the same person. It's Michael Jackson's Man in the Mirror.
Yeah, well, he's like,
He's about to punch that mirror like he did at Tiffany's
Oh my
sleepover.
God, you're both pedophiles and your noses are falling off.
What have I done? Anyway, how you doing, Drew?
I'm really good. Before we got started, we were talking about your beer fest, and I was there. It was really cool, but I did make an observation
Yeah.
when y'all went out in the crowd. Dan, you were so good at working the crowd and like mixing and mingling.
Chirping.
Tom, do you feel like you get stuck in like one conversation?
He gets other people stuck in one
myself away.
conversation.
I pull myself
Yeah.
away, and I get out of situations that, and once you get him, like if he's walking to the stage like this is how he walks, and if somebody goes, "Hey, druggie," he'll turn, and then it's done, and then I have to come get him.
Yeah.
Yellow Bill hat guy and you. You for like 40 minutes. It seemed like y'all were hanging.
Oh yeah. He's
Well, I
talking
don't want
about-
to disappoint the
He's
person.
talking about fiddly figs, and he's
No,
talking about
no.
giving him the full fiddle.
It's just that
man.
when you're talking to me, I appreciate you coming to the beer fest. You support it, like so. I don't want
I'm
to
gonna
be.
give you 40 minutes.
No, I don't want to be the person that's like, oh, I gotta go, and then the person feels like, oh, I didn't mean to hold,
But there's
they
like
don't.
10 people around you waiting to take a picture with you.
No, I know, but that first person got me.
Most
so,
important.
and
Yeah,
then
you got to
done.
get him first. You got to get him first.
So then,
It's just like YouTube. You got to get on the video and write the N-word before anybody else does, and then you win.
would you just stand around and watch me, Drew?
He wanted to talk to you, probably. Is that,
Oh.
You could be honest with me. Did you want to talk to Tom?
No,
But that guy took all your time. The yellow brim hat man.
Well, maybe, but no, really. I feel like you guys are like kind of at work in that moment, so I want to give you space.
We are. I'm glad you did that, because
Yeah.
if you'd come up to me at that time, I would have probably had you escorted off the property.
Drew, do you do that thing that I used to do where I was like an intern on a radio show, and then when I first started going out, like I'd go out to the events, the radio shows,
Tuck in the
events,
corner and smoke a cigarette.
and then like I'm in the corner or whatever, no one recognizes me yet because I know the bear suit or something like, and then
go put on my super suit.
so when I'm talking to someone that's at the event, I work in that I'm the person. So then they're like, "Oh, you're that person," and
Right,
then,
and then they get on the
famous.
mic. Then they get on the mic, and then they have the DJ announce you.
So did you work in your trivia, Drew? To
Too
any-
nervous to do that. I'd be embarrassed if they didn't know me. One person did see me, or did recognize me though.
Did he?
Oh, really?
Really?
Yeah.
He's like, "Hey, you're Trivia Drew."
It was a lady and her, I think, boyfriend, and it did get kind of like, "You gonna hang out with us tonight?" conversation.
That happened to me
serious?
too.
Yeah, I had a scooch.
They usually
You had to
Now I need to know who it was.
You scooch that lady?
No,
Waterfall
Scooch
lifestyle?
when I was in Jamaica, a
Hey.
lot of the radio listeners wanted me to bang
Hey,
their
ma-
wives while they
hey,
watch
man,
it. What's that guy's name?
Let me watch you drunk in my wife.
Yeah. That was true. And it like they were more. They wanted like they didn't want to ask the actual show personalities, but they were down to ask the interns.
I had
because there's a disrespect.
Oh,
that,
man.
like,
I had
come bang
a-
my
I've
wife.
been asked many a time on a cruise.
I had a disgusting mustache of a creature ask me to put my hand down his wife's bongos one time in an elevator, and I did it. Because you know what? Because I am much like DeSantis. I am going to lead us out of this, and I'm going to make things better.
All right, Drew. So what do we got? I imagine that there's.
Oh, we played his theme song. You sure you don't want to hear it again?
No,
Okay,
I'm
okay.
gonna.
Well, of course, I've been listening to all your episodes over the last week, and I even got one that's a little older than that because it was a really funny thing that was said on there. So we got 7 questions we're going to go through.
Okay.
All right.
Are we ready to jump in?
Sure. Yeah. We're always ready.
And if you remember how this works, I give you a hint to the answer at the beginning. So that's really important to remember that
Okay.
hint after you get the question.
Okay. I gotcha.
Hint, not secret. On Tuesday's episode titled Business Beard, the gang discussed how Tom's chicken legs could create enough friction to tear holes in his underwear. Dan said his thighs are so close together he has to lubricate them with what?
Dan.
Yes.
Orville Redenbacher's popcorn-flavored popping oil.
Popcorn
Or
butter.
Butter-flavored popcorn oil.
Popcorn butter is correct.
Yeah! I can remember that. Yeah, I'm on the board.
You're
I buttered myself up this morning.
I knew I smelled butter.
Yeah, that's me.
All
Gotta
right.
oil my thighs.
Oh, And it is Christmas time.
You gotta.
He's got a gun! One of these days it's going to happen.
Yeah.
No, not with me. You trust me.
That's what they all say.
That is not true.
That's the famous last words.
That's what BTK said.
Yeah.
All right,
They're wrapped.
Samantha,
Yeah.
I was gonna wrap the gun.
Stop.
you've been good this year. I want you to know Santa's been watching. You've been good.
Yeah, that's where I'm gonna.
Do I have to sit on your lap? This is getting weird.
But if I'm being honest, throughout
Wait,
the
I'd
year,
watch that. Hold on a second.
I would too.
If you guys just start, I'm just going to be on record as saying, if Samantha got over there and she started doing it with Santa Claus.
It's been a weird day.
And this is not my life, and I would just turn the cameras off, and I would sit here quietly and I'm just typing.
But we leave the volume on.
but you've also been naughty at times.
Oh, yeah, okay.
For being honest.
Uh-huh.
But Santa doesn't worry about your past. He's worried about your present. Merry
Ah.
Wow.
Do I open this now?
damn it.
Or do I wait?
It's Jeff Howell's illegitimate son.
Yeah, open it now.
Okay. I got 2 gifts here.
Wow.
Let's see.
It's a gun!
I have a Toy Tunes Play Harmonica.
Yeah, you can.
All right.
Okay.
I want you to play his harmonica.
Yeah, I know
Get
what
back
that
in the
means.
fan. And then we have also a Toy Tunes Kazoo.
Wow.
And it says just hum.
Oh, okay, yeah,
I knew
it.
this is Horny Santa.
I did not know
gum
it.
job.
I didn't realize it said that. That's actually unintentional.
Yeah. Hold on, you got a harmonica and a kazoo.
So things to blow.
Yeah.
No, I should have rethought this. I should have. But what I was thinking was,
Wait till what you get.
if you want, you can open them in throughout the bit. If
Okay.
there's things that work, and you think we're doing a good job, happy kazoo. If it's bad and you're
This
not liking
mother
it,
effer's on drunk.
I know.
He's like, if the bit's good, blow the kazoo. If it's bad, do the harmonica.
sad harmonica.
I was
Sad
cursing.
harmonica.
Sad
You're
harmonica.
an insane
Okay.
person.
Yeah.
You're crazier than crazy
He
Kratom Carrie.
legitimately wrapped them too.
You're
which is not
crazier.
necessary.
You're crazier than
Yeah,
Remy. You're crazier
Crazier
than
than Seth?
anyone. You're crazier than Bob Lando and Supergirl Jen. The
Yeah.
All right, next question.
Yeah, you'll notice those were made in China. That's because Santa's
all
little
the lead paint. Yeah.
Yeah, Santa's little helpers didn't make it through 2020. So
All right, I forgot he's got. I forgot he's got jokes.
It goes dark.
no,
Well, you can blame the Chinese on that.
it wasn't COVID. It was North Polio. Anyways, question number 2.
Wait.
It's just a hot.
What was that?
Oh wait.
That's what Santa wants. Give Santa the hot breath. Santa loves the hot breath.
Damn it.
Just hum. All right.
Okay. Good Lord.
Ugh.
Next question.
Okay. Hint. Let me get this straight. On Wednesday's episode titled Smoking Batteries, Tom talked about how much he loves cutting corners. He then said a common phrase incorrectly. What was it?
God, I say so many.
Things incorrectly.
Don't pull the wool over my legs.
Let me get this straight. Cutting corner.
God, my wife yells at me all the time for. I tell her like I'm just talking out loud. She's like, "Thinking out loud, you idiot! If you're talking is out loud, you're something's wrong with you."
That's what we say here.
You're disabled.
No, we say that here as a joke. We'll just say, "Look, I'm just talking out loud. It's a joke."
Yeah, but
And you've gotten used to saying it here. I say it
Okay.
too, but it doesn't make you stupid. It's just.
God,
It's a funny thing
like
to
I should know
say.
this.
It's like saying working hard or hardly working. It's one of those. So you know what?
Right.
We're men and we say
Right.
those things. And if you can't accept it, you're the problem.
It's something. Was it something about cutting corners?
I don't know. Sorry.
Hold on. Okay.
Hold on.
Okay. Tom.
Yes.
I said as the bird flies.
Correct.
Yeah. As the crow flies. No, you're supposed to hum. You know how to do a kazoo?
No, I guess not.
Hum along. Go,
Which side do I
Big side. Put big side in.
Big side in.
Yeah, big side in. And then you go. No, you gotta hum. You can't blow. There you go. It just vibrates the wax paper inside. There you go.
Don't look at me, Tom.
I can't look at you.
I was just staring at the
Do what
light.
you normally do.
All right, Dan's got one. Tom's got one.
And there's a
Okay.
bonus question here.
Oh.
Quickly, Dan said, it's not as a bird flies, it's as the crow flies. What did Tom say next?
I know where the crow flies.
I'm going to give you credit. I know how the crow flies.
Wow.
All right.
I think the best we've ever done with those trivia.
So everybody's got a point.
Yeah.
I usually get skunked because I don't care, but I'm back into caring.
All right.
Next hint. Better not call Mo. On the Friday free show titled Never Go Full Tang, Seth was back with one good, one bad. Who did you choose for the sponsor of this segment?
Okay, I remember I pivoted off of Mo because I knew this was going to go bad.
I don't know. Did we say Seth's dad?
No.
Did it go watering holes?
No.
Well, it wasn't a real one. It was a made-up one, right? Funny one? Or a real
Was
client?
it the jungle?
Like, was it, No, tell us.
The answer, no one. You said the first time in history
No,
that you decided to go nobody.
Yeah, that's
no
right.
one.
You got mad. I really should listen to our show. Yeah, that one I can't help you with because that one is a blow. But the kazoo's just a hum.
Yeah. All right, Drew, next question.
Sorry, there's a bonus one on this one. What did Seth say he was screaming at the AC repairman during his story?
Do you know who I am? Dan, do you know who I am?
No.
Oh.
Well,
Kind of.
there was one thing, then you all repeated it multiple times.
Oh, God. Yeah.
He said, I was screaming blank.
I'm on the radio.
Oh, no. I remember. We kept doing it.
Yeah. God.
I kept screaming at his set. Yeah, this is why I could never do stand up because I can't remember nothing. I can't remember nothing. I say something and then people are like, "Oh, why don't you hone that joke?" I'm like, "Can't hone it. Forgot it. Don't even know what I
I already
said."
lost it.
Yeah.
You need to hold on to it.
Well,
to
here,
hone.
I'll tell it to you again, and then you re-say it. Can't do that. I can't do.
Let's just make up a new thing.
Yeah, I'm moving on.
It's a little less funny every single time.
Every single time until I die.
That's how it goes. So
It was funny though, but I can't remember
that's
what
good.
it was. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like Citizens Arrest. No, it was like something like
Sovereign citizen.
yeah.
It was. I have a big voice.
I don't know. Yeah, what was it?
Logic!
Yeah, Logic.
Oh,
Yeah,
God
we
damn
kept
it.
screaming Logic.
Why did he scream Logic?
I don't even know.
I'll have to go back and listen to it. It was a lot funnier at the time.
I think he was trying to say he was speaking logic, like logical terms to him, but then we took it into a way of...
You know what's funny is that it holds up in the chat room. We are so jaded by all of the things that we say and the fact that we've done this so long. They all said Logic. Like, I didn't look at that.
knew it.
I deliberately don't look at that. There you go. Nice
You gotta
job.
blow really hard.
Hey, I deliberately didn't look over there because I want to play, but they all got it. So that
Yeah,
makes me
yeah,
feel
yeah.
better.
I
That makes me
think
feel better.
because what we're doing on the show is
We're in the moment saying it. They're listening, so you retain it better if you're listening.
Yeah,
than
exactly.
saying it.
We're being the worst human to ever talk to outside of this, where they are never listening to you; they're just waiting to speak. And I think that's
You're
what we're
right.
always
We've
doing.
trained ourselves to be bad listeners.
It's all improv.
We're just thinking, what can I say next, instead of listening to anything we each of us say.
I'm just listening for when I can interrupt you.
Yeah. It's bad.
Yeah, that's bad. All right, next question.
So I will say we're 3 questions in, and we've still got a tie game here, everyone with 1 point.
Okay.
Now, this one was from a week, Thursday, a week prior. It was a while ago, but I just thought it was
man.
so funny, I have to add it. Hint, Big Willie style. On Thursday's episode titled Still Bad at Business, you had a conversation with the news junkies regarding a Ron DeSantis flag and what it would look like. Sabrina said it would said it would have big white boots on it. What did Dan say he thought the flag would look like?
Dan,
Yeah.
they'd be slapping a mask off of a child.
Yeah.
Wow, you got it back.
I got it back.
I didn't listen to that.
Here's your memory back.
Because I very much love that press conference where he's like, "You got a mask on, you're an idiot." He's getting them good. He's like, "You're standing back there, you look like a fool."
That's a funny joke.
And how old are you? What are you, 14 years old? I'm going to belittle you on TV. I'm a grown-ass man. Yeah, the whole thing is just wrong in so many different ways, but you did it.
that?
You did it. She did it.
She's getting better.
I
She
was
is
laughing.
Oh, that's the mummy. That's the sound the mummy makes.
All right.
All right, keep going.
So Dan's got 2.
Dan is in the lead. Now he's got 2. Tom 1. Sam 1. Tom, I've been watching you this year too,
Whoa.
and I've noticed that quite often you talk about how much you hate memes.
Oh.
Well, Santa doesn't like memes either. He's more into GIFs.
I don't know what this means. I don't know what's happening. Oh, there it is.
Merry Christmas, Thomas.
Wow. Wait a minute. I get the question right? Do you hand Tom a present?
Yeah.
That's how it works.
This game sucks.
Santa's
All
dirty.
right. What kind of garbage is this?
Yes.
What'd you get, buddy?
All right. You gave
What do
me.
you got? Oh, a slingshot.
Oh, wow.
Cool.
You know what? That is some van boy hijinks right there.
Old Huckleberry Finn
Yeah,
slingshot.
Max Van can put that in his back pocket and shoot your skylight out.
So, vintage toy slingshot.
Have your boys shoot the raccoons with acorns.
Listen, my wife is Max gets mad when I kill bugs now. It's absurd. Like, it's insane. Here we go. Hold on.
Yeah, you gotta
How many
fix.
bugs you killing
Yeah,
over
you
there?
gotta fix that.
Well, just there's like some sort of spider walking around the bathroom. I'm
Yeah,
stomping
you smash it.
Then Max like, don't.
Why is he in the bathroom with you?
Well, we're always in the bathroom nude for some reason.
He stands on his knees
I have to
while
take
he's
their
taking
pants
a
off.
dump.
All right, what do we
You
got
don't have
here?
your kids stand on your legs while you're taking a poop?
All right, here we go.
Who wrapped this? Good Lord.
Rip it open.
Okay, so we got
What is
some
that?
sort of knockoff ninja wall climber.
Oh, yeah, those are highly racist. Highly racist.
Hold on, their eyes.
Yeah,
oh
it
my
also
God,
says-
their eyes.
He got all this from the Dollar Tree.
On the bottom, in quotes, it says, me Chinese, me play joke. I don't think that's good.
Okay, here we go. I'm going to open and throw one at the wall.
Well, you
they'll
could use your
they'll stay on our walls.
Oh, slingshot
Use your
one on the wall.
slingshot.
Oh, is that what it's for?
Yeah, like he's mad you didn't put two and two together. Use your slingshot, you idiot.
Duh.
All right, here we go.
You can watch this all at twitch.tv/Tom and Dan Live or on YouTube. Just search at Tom and Dan Live.
Okay, start off with the next question.
Yeah,
Ready to
next
get this-
question.
All right. Category or hint. Very good. On Friday's episode titled Microdosing, Canadian Josh talked about microdosing with mushrooms. He said it helps smooth out the ruts in his brains. Tom said, "What if I wanted to make more ruts?" Then Dan said what?
Oh, God.
I remember this
Yeah, I do
conversation.
too, yeah.
And
Very good.
did Tom?
Yeah.
Did he say I wanted to smooth my brain out like an egg?
No.
All right.
I like to guess.
I don't know.
Are you saying very good or very good?
I'm saying Barry.
With a B.
With a B.
No, my God.
You broke
He broke the ninja.
You broke the.
He broke the man in half.
How did you break the?
Its legs are so hard. Why are the legs hard? I thought the whole thing was supposed to be gummy, so it's stuck to the wall.
Yeah. I don't even know if one will stick.
All right, hold on.
Oh, we're trying to stick these gummy ninjas to the wall. This is great radio.
It's the end of the year.
Oh, God.
Oh, it's gonna go
Be
right through the
careful.
window.
Santa's scared.
Don't shoot
Watch
it
your
in the
eyeballs,
face.
everyone.
Hold
Safety
your ears,
glasses on.
folks. It's showtime.
Okay.
Here
Here he
go.
goes.
I
Oh,
can't
this is
look.
good.
aiming for me.
Oh, he's gonna blast it good.
He's going to blast your wig off. It's stuck to his hand. Oh,
God damn
that's
garbage.
Cancer stuck
Yeah,
to
you
your
got
hand.
cancer. You gotta. Oh, that's disgusting. All right, next question.
No one knows.
No, he said, "Yeah, I want it like Captain Crunch. Oops, all ruts."
Man, that wasn't even funny. That was
Funny.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I
giggled in
didn't-
my car about
Okay,
that.
well, I'm glad I forgot that one.
Oops,
right.
all ruts.
All right, next
All
question.
right. Number 6, second to last questions. We're almost there. Number 6, hint, big red stripper. On Monday's episode titled Threw Out My Back Brain, you talked with Dino, the hot sauce man. He went over the ingredients in his blueberry hot sauce. What ingredient did Tom say was his stripper name?
I feel like Jasmine was involved.
Big red stripper.
Big red stripper.
Peppermint swirl.
Yeah, you do look like a peppermint. Yeah,
I remember the joke.
I don't know.
Started off so strong.
Yeah, we lost that.
Going
I'm gonna be
downhill.
real with you. We're about 8. We're only good for about 8 minutes of you. I'm just giving it to
We're
you
good for
straight.
5 questions.
Yeah. All right, go ahead and give us the answer.
Vietnamese cinnamon.
Oh, hey.
No way that Tom
Yeah.
said Vietnamese correctly.
Yeah, I think you did. Yeah,
No,
I think you did.
all I said is that's my stripper.
Ah,
Because
okay.
Dino said Vietnamese cinnamon,
Yeah,
and he
yeah.
said that's my
That's my
stripper
stripper
name.
name.
And you know what I thought of at that time? The Razor Blade Show.
Oh yeah.
But that's
Was that ever-
Thailand. That's Thailand.
Yeah, oh, yeah. It's all, you know.
Did they still do the old razor blade shows? Do you know what I'm talking
That
about?
was a myth.
No, it was not. I have a video.
It's like Donkey Show in Mexico.
No, it was real. There's a video that I was gifted when I worked, when I first started working in radio that showed this lady. It was like she was like some sex doctor that would come on all these stupid radio shows. And she went to Thailand and interviewed a lot of these ladies that do the sex tricks there.
Yeah,
and it's all real. It's like magic, but you're just using your
we
genitals.
can ask Brendan. He's watched it, right?
Yeah, it's real.
Yeah.
I don't think I could watch it.
But what is...
Nothing happens. It just looks dangerous, but it's...
So like a magician, they swallow a bunch of needles and they pull it out of the throat. And
It's like that,
Like a
but this is razor blades,
Okay.
and I'm not gonna. I'll just leave it at that.
All right.
There is a bonus here.
Okay.
When Dino mentioned a pepper called Trinidad Scorpion, what did Tom say?
Finish him. Trinidad Scorpion.
He did that to his wife last night,
That's funny.
good.
No, yeah,
Yeah.
I like that.
All right.
but we know he did.
That's my drug dealer.
We only have a couple of.
yeah.
It's the same garbage response every time.
I did that to my wife. That's my stripper name.
That's my rap name.
Yeah,
That's a new dance I do.
Yeah, that's my breakdancer name.
Yeah, exactly.
That works for a couple. We don't know, Drew.
That's my bookie's name.
Oh, Trinidad Scorpion. I like that. I like
That's it.
that.
I forgot that one.
Yeah, bookie's pretty good.
Now, we'll say...
Do I get the goal?
Wait, does Dan
last
get
question.
No,
of course he does.
I've been bad. I get
No,
cold.
Dan has
Oh,
been
okay.
great this year.
Oh, thank you. Drew.
Yeah, you've been great. You've been taking care of Dansby.
Dansby, soon to be renamed Guy Fieri.
Cutting back on your drinking.
I have. Yep.
So I'm going to grab my sack and give you something to suck on. Here you go.
All right. Okay. It's Dum Dums candy canes.
Oh, those are good.
Yeah, these are good. Amazing.
Well, Daniel got the best prize.
I know.
Because
He got broken toys. Mine don't work either.
You guys got a bunch of trash, and I got like name brand.
Getting better.
I got name brand candy canes. I'll give you one, Sam.
Yeah, you can
All
share
right.
Okay.
those.
Thank
All right,
you.
we're going into the last question here, so we're
lightning
going to
round.
wrap it up. And we still have Dan with the lead and best
Yep,
gift.
yep.
Look at that. All right, number 7. I will say this before I ask it. I do realize that I'm making these questions, Sam. I do a lot of what they're saying, and I don't do a lot of what you're saying.
That's fine. No one listens to me.
I do. This one's
All
for
right.
you.
Okay.
Oh wow, Santa's really horny.
Oh, no one's gonna know this one.
That was just like he's like, just touch it, please.
I listen to you.
White pubes.
What's your real name?
Exactly. You're too pretty to be working at T&D Media. Why don't you get a real job? Hey, Samantha Ann, you're too pretty. Why don't you get on Santa's sleigh? Why are you working with these two goombaws? You're going to be working with Big Daddy Santa.
Why is it so awkward?
I know.
Sorry. Wasn't trying.
Yeah, and your wig is sweating crazy.
I know, dude. It's a heat factory in here. All right, question number 7. Hint. Pin A for your thoughts. On Friday's episode titled Hobo Wine, you all discussed what your dads did with their free time. Sam said her dad would just sit on the couch, watch Star Trek, get drunk, and do what?
Fall face down in spaghetti.
Hell yeah, that's it. That's
that was
it.
it.
Wow,
That
that's
was
an
it.
actual thing that happens all the time.
It was coming to me as you said it. Man, well done, Sam.
Face down in the spaghetti?
Yeah, because he's pay pills. Eventually you run out of life. You run out of energy, man.
On a TV tray?
No, if it's an actual plate, how dare you?
No, I'm saying the plate was on the TV tray.
Coffee table.
Oh, coffee table. Yeah.
You gotta watch Star Trek in front of the TV.
You gotta bend over to eat it.
You're right,
You gotta
that's
do
the
that move where you eat with your legs spread open. You're leaning over, kind of scraping
Just
it into your
noodles
mouth.
and pepper.
Yeah,
Like you're in a dress riding a horse.
exactly.
Side saddle. All right.
All right.
All right, so we're tied.
It's a tie.
It's a
Is there
tie.
a tiebreaker?
I usually do that, but I didn't.
Punish!
Gonna snap his beard off.
Set his beard on fire!
We're going to have to stuff that beard up your butthole. Tunnel style. I'm sorry. And it's going to be awkward.
I gotta get out of here.
Get the tamper!
With the wrong end. All right,
Sweat
Drew.
it up till it'll slide right in.
Well, I'd say we figure out who won, but no one cares. no, listeners don't care. No one here cares. I don't think you care.
I think,
But you put a tremendous
He
amount of
spent
effort
so
into
much
this.
time on
You can
those
take your
jokes.
wig off now if you want to, because you're
Thank
getting
you.
real gross looking, man. You're real sweaty.
So what are you doing, Drew, this holiday season?
There he is.
What do you got going
Oh, now
on?
you look like Ralphie, new Ralphie.
Or Harry
I forgot,
Potter.
are you married? Do you have a family?
Yeah, I'm married.
Yeah, he doesn't have any kids. Though.
Okay.
It was
no
my
kids?
wife that wrapped the presents.
You would be a wonderful dad,
Thanks.
I think. Like this he's fun like you.
Are you planning on doing that?
Yeah.
All right.
No rush. I'm not asking you to do that, please. I shouldn't have said that. You know what? I shouldn't have said that.
Starting tonight.
I
No,
shouldn't have.
we actually went to a psychic because we do like a bucket list thing every year. Like, let's do 3 things we've never done.
That's what you do.
You do that?
No.
You do adventure.
They do the same thing over and over. And they say they hate it and it's too much work, but they continue to do it.
Sam's got it. Why don't you got it? So
We went to Casa Dega and we went to a psychic, and they're saying the kids
I
are
want to
coming.
do that too.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what they said?
Yeah.
Did they give you a time frame? Did they...
Yeah, we both went to our own psychic, which was really interesting because like mine was just like this really nice.
I like that to
positive
compare
stuff.
and contrast.
Yeah.
Okay.
Her dude was like throwing her out like someone's gonna die, blood
Damn.
related, and you're gonna get an inheritance in a J month. Like he had all these. I was like, man, that's more entertaining than mine.
In
Mine
a
was-
J month.
January.
But that sounds so sinister, doesn't it? Like in a J month, dog. It sounds like slang or something, you know.
So be
Like-
careful which one you pick. You might get some things where you're kind of nervous about walking out the door.
When you decide that you're finally ready to have kids, there's always this... I did this with
I shook hands with my wife before.
with Crystal, where...
Agreed.
Deal.
It didn't happen. Daniel happened. I mean, he is potent. It was
I don't
like
know
the same
about that.
month.
I think it was the last bit of testosterone I have. I gave it the old college try.
Ours was
Now I'm full woman.
took a year. Like you're like, all right, we'll try.
I think that's anything. It's like watching a pot boil. You know, it's like
Yeah, and then by the time it actually happens, you're so convinced because it took so long that it wasn't going to happen that you're kind of like, oh no.
right. You got used to the idea. Of, it's not going to happen. I know what
So
you
then
mean.
you're
I
like,
know
well,
what you
I'll
mean.
be rich. Then I'll do whatever I want, and
Yeah.
we'll live Samantha's life of just going on different vacations and spending your money for
she's
your
been
own
dealing
good.
with. Lately, she's been dealing with
All my money's going to crap.
Yeah.
Safe Light repairs. Safe Light replaced.
Tell me you got that fixed now.
Not yet. Working on it.
She's gonna have to sell her kazoo and her harmonica to get a new
Hard up.
windshield.
Got anything to plug, Drew? Of
course not.
Yeah, just nothing.
That's a great answer.
I
by the
mean,
way.
nothing at all. Like your wife's
No.
business and your
She
friends
doesn't want to be associated with this.
your friends or family's business.
It is another corporate time with Tom and Dan. I am Dan.
I'm Tom.
Samantha, our producer, is here, and she's been setting this up and emailing all morning. So let's not waste any time, my friend.
Yep, he's going to be at Hard Rock Live December 10th. You can get your tickets at hardrock.com. On the line with us right now, Lewis Black. How you doing, Lewis?
Every day gets more wonderful, don't you think? you woke up today and you thought, boy, yesterday was great, and then you woke up today and went, oh, no, it's greater, and tomorrow it'll be the greatest. It's just extraordinary how well we're doing. You wake up, you see the big rainbow out there, and know that if you walk to the end of it, you're going to find that pot of gold.
Lewis, I have to ask you, because you've been doing the Daily Show and I had to look this up to believe it, since its inception for...
He is the Daily Show, and to some folks.
26 years, and since it started with Craig Kilborn, and of course Jon Stewart and Trevor Noah, who just announced that he's retiring from the Daily Show. But I have to ask you, like, first, how did that start, and how did it last so long? Did they just keep asking you to do it, and or were you involved in the longevity of this?
It was, it got started because I was working clubs in New York City, and I was known in the clubs, and I had a ton of material, and I knew Liz Winstead, who was the creative mind behind it, and one of the producers was Hank Gallo, who was also knew my work really well, and they just gave me a shot. And when I started doing it originally, I was just improvising, sitting at a desk, and we had no audience, and I would do it. And then they'd come up and say, try this again, and we'll change this and that. And the first 4 or 5 times, I just improv. Whoa. And then we got an audience, so I started to write it out, and then it evolved into Back in Black. And the longevity had to do with the fact that I'm so charismatic. People just can't get enough of me.
Well, but you are to a point, and I'm so glad you answered that. One of the questions I wrote down to follow up what Tom said was like, I wondered how much of that, if in the middle of it you decided to, I don't know, you came up with a better idea, and you're like, I'm going to go this way. So I had no idea if it was scripted, if it was all just right off the top of your head, like how you were doing it. But to know that you were improvising it. Is that something that you still enjoy doing, or is the process different now? Do you write it down? Do you kind of...
Now the process, now they write it. So as it evolved, it became more about them writing it, because there were a couple of there were a couple of producers under Jon Stewart who didn't think I was funny enough.
Huh.
I didn't quite get
dare
it.
they?
So they decided to start writing it.
Oh, my God.
Which is fine, because at first I was really irritated by it, and then I thought, okay, you want to do this? Then I got less work to do. What am I doing?
Yeah.
That's exactly like how my business partner, Tom, he kind of looks at things a little more logical than I do. I'm a bit more emotional, and I think that's a good way of looking at it.
Well, Louis, that brings up my next question, because we were listening to your podcast, your Rantcast, and you'll often you'll basically read your listeners' rants on your podcast, and you do a brilliant marketing thing where you'll pick a listener from a city that you're going to be at, and then choose that listener's rant as a way to market your next show. But you have the ability to rant other people's thoughts, and when I see you do it, I'm like,
that's like magic, man.
Does it come
natural?
Like, does it come naturally for you, because it comes off so well and so passionate? Is that second nature to you? You're just able to read someone else's rant and get into the mindset of them and make it your own.
It's like character acting.
Well, it is. And where did I... And I just answered the question in part, was I learned it at the Daily Show when they decided they were going to write stuff. And then they were writing stuff. Writing in my voice is not difficult, okay? It's like I call it writing for a big barking dog. It's like... Okay, that's my basic. And so they started writing the stuff, and it wasn't in my voice, so I had to kind of make it sound like I'd written it. And I learned, because it became acting, which I had a pretty good idea of, because I came out of theater.
Yeah.
So it was, so it became, and then so when during the pandemic, I started to realize that that was when the Rantcast started, because the one thing that could keep me in touch with stand-up, because I wasn't doing that Zoom stuff.
Right.
No, ain't happening. No, I'm not on Hollywood Squares. Don't be stupid. This is absurd. So what I did was the one thing I knew that I could do is I didn't need an audience to know how to make a rant work, or how to make it funny, or if it was serious, how to make it work. I'd become really good at that.
Yeah, it definitely shows. And it seems like effortless when we were watching it today, and it was fun. It was fun to see you take on other people's kind of gripes, and then maybe put a little more clay on there. You know.
Well, thank you. Yeah, no, I get a big kick out of it. And what was really, what evolved actually and it will go back to this again once we start rolling again more and more and doing more shows. Is there was a point just before we went into the shutdown where 90% of what was being written was spectacular, but they were really writing some, and that's why I started getting those rants out there, because they were so well written. And now the problem is everybody feels like they've got to explain everything because they've been locked up for so long, that what you've got now is I'm kind of go, can you edit this? Don't make me edit these things, guys. You just can't. The guy goes, well, I know this is going to be a little long, and you go, it's 25 minutes. We can't do this. You're insane.
Yeah. And so, Louis, I'm curious to, with them, the Daily Show and how long it's been running, and how many, different hosts, and with Trevor announcing his retirement or leaving the show, and then I'm guessing I heard on your podcast, you're like, why don't they ask me to do it?
You know what? I agree. Is that how much of that was a bid, and how much of that is, or is it no bid? Is that just you being you, and is that?
Well, I think if all I did was go in, and I've said it, but I said, look, I've been on this show the longest. I didn't get an Emmy. Okay, so I didn't get an Emmy from doing this forever. So, and all sorts of the Emmys were flying our way. You could just, as I would have paid for it,
Right.
So, I mean, it was, and I'd written stuff, I'd done enough, I thought, look, after 25 years, put me behind the desk for one show, all right? Then we'll call it even.
Yeah, I can see that.
I've been there forever, and I helped get you off the ground, and it's been really fun, and I loved working with everybody there, and I really love the writers there. I think that's the key to that show, were those writers. I mean, John did a great job, and Trevor did a great job, but the real key to it is the writers themselves.
So, Louis, I'm curious with how they came to you with the role of Anger from Inside Out, because my boys loved that movie when it came out, and when I saw you were playing that role, I was like, of course, that makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering if when they were writing it, they were like, well, Louis Black has to play this. Like, I wonder if there was any other person.
Or did they write it for you? Was there any discussion of that?
No, from what they've told me, and from what I've gathered, I was the first one pitched. So it was, imagine there are these emotions. Imagine if there was the emotion of anger, and it was done by Louis Black. So I was really like in their mind from the beginning.
That's right, man. That is
what they told me.
Yeah, that is too cool.
And that was great.
It makes perfect sense. I mean, like, it seemed like when the inception of this movie, when they sat down and were like, all right, here's the plot, I feel like right after, like, in that moment, they were like, okay, here's the emotions. And like, well, we're going to ask Louis Black to play Anger. Like, it makes sense that they had that from the beginning. And so when you do that,
we're doing it again.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's an Inside Out 2 that's coming.
Ah, fantastic.
Behind the scenes, Louis, like, how long does that take you to, like, what's the commitment?
That's a lot of dialogue, isn't it?
Are we, like, days in the recording studio?
No, here's to give you, it takes them from the moment they decide to do the animation till when it's done is 5 years.
Wow.
But a lot of that is about, rewriting, and then they have to redo the visual, and so there's all of that goes into it. And I'm maybe 6, 7, 8, 9 days over the 5 years.
Is that when you have?
No, I just spent. I shot it. I did the voiceover for the first run of the thing. A couple of months ago, and that was really a lot of fun, and I think it's going to be. It looks like it's going to be really good. But I was in there. You got to realize, I was in there 4 hours, and then came back 2 hours the next day. I was yelling for 4 straight hours.
Man.
Yeah.
Do you ever lose your voice? I mean, is there like some sort of preparation
regiment that you use?
Like daily regiment with your voice, Louis?
No, I'm pretty good with my voice, but I have to say I've been working, and because I was off for so long, and you can't really wander around the house screaming every day.
Yeah.
So it's because they'll just come, your neighbors will go, okay, that's it, you have to go now. But I did have, what happened was I'd worked 4 days straight, and then had to go do this. Do the anger voice, and that kind of has made it. Since then, I've had kind of a cough that's going away, but but that's been the result. It's more I now sound more phlegmy. And what a delightful way to, in the interview. What was the most exciting part of the interview? When he said the word phlegmy.
Well, Louis, this is my last question, I promise. But you've done some brilliant marketing moves in your career.
Well, you mentioned one earlier about him reading the other people's rants in the cities he's going to. I mean, I think that's
smart.
Yeah, that's brilliant.
But other, like, I saw you, like, on the Weather Channel, and I saw you promote your book, and you were doing, like, Weather Channel hits. And I thought it was interesting because I've never seen the Weather Channel do this, like, before or after you doing it. And I have to imagine they have such a gigantic cable audience across the nation that it's such huge exposure and promotion for you.
And it's got eyes, man.
And when I saw that, I was like, this is brilliant because there's so many people watching this, and to get your name out, to promote your book, and what, like, I just thought it was a brilliant marketing move for you, Louis.
Yeah, how did that come about?
Because at some point, I was doing weather jokes. Because the idea was always to me, if I'm yelling and screaming about the weather, and I'm giving that as much, that I'm putting that much energy into yelling about the weather, and then I'm yelling about politics, but I'm screaming about weather in the same way. It makes them all. It takes the nonsense out of yelling about politics.
Okay. Yeah.
Because I'm yelling about weather, you schmucks. It's the same thing as clouds are the same thing as Democrats and Republicans, you idiots.
Yeah.
Bad weather reporting. And then and also it was the whole idea of weather. You're in. What's the best job in the world? The guy in the weatherman in San Diego. Those were the kind of jokes I did. What's it going to be like today? Nice, back to you. I did those kind of goofy jokes, and I yelled about Al Roker. I
Tom has a
5
history.
minutes on Al Roker.
It's Louis. At this point in time, you've been doing this for so long. Could you improv and complain about anything with any topic? If someone gave it to you, you could. Could you do 10 minutes a 10-minute rant on basically anything?
Pretty much, I could do a 3-minute rant on anything. 10 minutes. I'm going to take a nap at 7.
So,
there's certain things I could go for 10 minutes. There's other things. I'm not going to yell about squirrels for more than 3.
Yeah, gotcha.
You know what? That makes sense. That's a good rule for squirrels.
Do you think you could be stumped? Like someone give you?
I don't think you can.
Have you ever even thought in your mind it'd be hard to rant for over a minute about?
Puppies.
You
can rail on puppies.
Yeah.
I feel like. I think it can be. I think that is the challenge. You can do 3 minutes on anything.
I think I could do pretty much anything. I think. Of course, I say that, and then there'll be 25 people be sending me stuff. I'm not going to talk about. Are you going to yell about? No, I could yell about sneakers too. I don't like going into sneaker stores anymore. It's like, how many colors? What is the matter with you people? How many colors do you need to wear on your feet? What about just a comfortable shoe that works and feels like? It just amazes me.
Yeah, no,
it's become $1 billion business.
So, Louis, you're rounding out the end of your tour, and
with us. Yeah, he's coming to Florida.
Yeah, and then you're off the rails tour, and December 10th at Hard Rock Live in Orlando.
Our good friends over at Hard Rock, we love that place, and we know he's been there before, and he'll crush it. And snag your tickets.
But what happens after the tour, Louis? Like after this tour, how long do you take a break before you're off again? I'm just curious about that.
Oh yeah, no, I take a month. It'll be a month off. I'm going to probably work New Year's Eve. There's a place that I worked in the city for a number of years that I ran it as a small theater, and then did stand up there too. And I'll probably do New Year's there, and
awesome.
and then so I'm off the 12th, and then I'll be back. I'll have that time off, and then the 20th or something, I start up again out in Santa Cruz.
Wow, God, man, the grind. How do you still have it in you with the grind of getting back? I mean, I know
we're in our 40s and we're about to hang it up, man. I'm done with this crap. God damn.
Yeah, we're not traveling as much.
Yeah, no, I find that methadone really helps. A good meth ball really can keep you going. I didn't think at my age, when you got over 70, that the meth would still work, but woo, it's really doing the job.
Yeah, and that was a convincing woo.
Meth always works.
Yeah. Tom's on it now. He's got Adderall, sir. So yeah, we're there. We're there.
Again, get your tickets at HotRock.com. He's going to be there December 10th. Lewis Black, thanks so much for talking to us.
It's always an honor, and thank you so much, man. We'll see you when you come to Orlando. Okay.
Please do, and then let folks know. I just want to let them know to you go to lewisblack.com, and if you got a rant about Orlando. Or anything in Florida or anything. Anything. But, there's somebody, people rant about, my favorite is about, a guy opens a jar of what he thinks is supposed to be either smooth or chunky peanut butter, and it's not the chunky, it's smooth, and he goes nuts. 5 minutes of yelling about, you can yell about pickles, I don't care. Yell about sand dabs.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it.
Well, Lewis.
So whatever you got to say.
Yeah, and then send Lewis the email.
Yeah, we have the website up right now, so go to lewisblack.com, and we'll see you on the 10th. All right, man.
You got. I really appreciate the time, guys.
Thanks so much, Lewis. We appreciate it, man. We'll talk soon. That is Lewis Black live from the road somewhere. I didn't even. We should have asked. Where was that? What a nice man. He's always so. No nonsense, and he's always he'll answer anything, and those are the type of people I like the most.
Doing it for 50 years.
Yeah, and doing it well.
Yeah, right. And he's in his 70s.
Look, I've been doing radio for 25. I wouldn't say I've been doing it well for all of that time.
You look at, I was reading his bio, and he pivoted to doing only stand up and stuff in his 40s, when he hit 40. And it's crazy to think that you basically have a career trajectory change at 40 years old.
What are you going to pivot to? You just turned 40. Yeah. Or is this what you're doing?
I don't know. I thought this age, I was like, well, you're set in stone. You're riding it out till you die.
I don't feel like that.
Because
you look shaky.
Well, you look around the corner.
I feel like I'm playing Fall Guys on Xbox, man. This is it's crazy.
And you think to yourself, Lewis,
bring it up.
Lewis Black.
I rant about Fall Guys.
He's in his 70s, but he's.
We should all write a rant, right? So that we could be on Lewis's Black's Rantcast.
Here's what I think writing is proven. Okay, he's 72. Writing every day, getting out a physical pen and a pencil or typing, whatever. It's got to be you can't just do it in your mind. I'm saying you got to write. I think doing that every single day probably keeps you young.
Yeah.
Well, it's forcing your brain to go through complex.
That's why Tom looks so young.
Micro,
he rewrites all my notes on a separate sheet of paper.
No, but there is some method to. We were talking about that before we even had Lewis Black on. Sam's like, well, why are you writing all the things down? And you do the old technique that I used to do when I was trying to memorize stuff. You write it down so you can have it in your skull. You write it down as a way of retention. I used to do that all the time. That was my trick for memorization. It's kind of like Bart Simpson. I'd write it down, reread it, and then boom, it's in there. It's sealed.
I'll show
your notes.
Oh, look at this manifesto.
I'll show.
It's kind of
weird. Oh my God.
The difference between Sam's notes and the exact same thing.
How can you even read that?
Well, I can't.
Okay.
I look down and I remember what I wrote, but I can't read what I wrote.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that's how crazy I am.
Your mind is using little calculations of knowing what you wrote. You're reading it, but not reading it.
Yeah.
It's all over. You're remembering it. I invented that. Remembering.
And all that is from the damn years of trying to write bits and then just writing.
Oh, that was the question we wanted to ask that we didn't ask. The one that I don't think I jotted it down either, about how long it takes.
Well, he mentioned that they started writing it at one point.
That's true.
So it's so he just show up and then read their.
Who is this? Is that Lewis Black?
I don't know who that is. No, it's not Lewis.
Who is this?
Line 1.
Oh God.
Hold on.
Hello, this is Tom and Dan. This is Dan speaking. How may I help you?
Hello?
Yeah. Hi. What do you need?
I was going to leave a message.
Oh, he doesn't want to talk to us
Hold
live.
on, is this BD and Mike? Is this BD and Mike?
No.
No, this is not BD and Mike.
Okay, because I was going to chastise you for calling too much. Don't be nervous. Who is this? You can say who it is without hanging up.
Oh, I was just calling in response to Tom's story about the doo-doo on the BDM show for this week.
Oh.
You have a doo-doo phone call.
Okay.
You know what?
Well, go ahead now.
Yeah,
I'm right
Tom's
here.
We're answering live.
So put it to him. Give it to him straight.
Yeah.
Give it to him straight.
Let's
Don't
talk
be
about it.
nervous. I'm on your side.
No, I just I thought it was a great story, and it reminded me of a story back when I was in college in about 2002. So I was working at the library there on campus, and after 5 o'clock, all of the full-time workers would go home, and then it was just like security students that were working. So I was working one night, and this lady came down to the front desk and said, "There's a problem with the women's bathroom on the 3rd floor. You need to go check it out." So, whatever, didn't think too much about it.
Oh, by the way, hold
on 1 second. Hold on.
Okay, there's only one problem.
Yeah, it's you. It's you.
No. But I'm saying, like, that if someone's like, "Hey, there's a
women
problem in
can
the
have
bathroom."
2 problems.
Yeah, but
Men can only have 1 problem. Women can have 2.
Yeah, but even though
That's true.
they can't have 2 problems,
2
it's
is
always
true.
just
1 is fun.
the one problem, which is the second problem, if you know what I mean.
I know what you mean,
because that's
but-
what causes the biggest problem in all bathrooms, men or women.
understand.
It's always a doo-doo problem.
Yes,
it's never.
Could be a tampon problem.
Stop!
Clogging up the toilet.
Rarely a problem that's that people feel they need to report. The doo-doo problem they need to report as quick as possible.
Because they got to
Report
do
doo-doo.
Because they got to do.
Yeah, I think they feel like it's more serious.
Okay,
but-
continue,
okay,
sir. So the
sorry.
lady comes down. You're at the desk. She's like, "Hey, there's a problem at the 3rd floor ladies' bathroom. You know what it is." And then she says, "Hey, you need to get up there and check it out." And you're like, "All right."
So I go up there, I put the out of order sign on the door, and I walk in there. I start looking around, and nothing looks out of the ordinary. I look in all the stalls, and then I get to the last stall, and I look in there, and I saw the biggest turd that I've ever seen in my life.
Well, wait a
It
minute.
was-
That's not a problem, though. That lady should have flushed it. Hold on. That lady.
Well, didn't it?
No.
It wouldn't.
Oh.
So this turd was one giant solid lump, and it was the size of a Coca-Cola can. Like
No.
12-ounce Coca-Cola can.
That's not my. That's,
Oh, yeah.
that's called the Maisie
There
Dennis.
I like it being
There
described
was
as
no way
girthy.
to flush it. It could not be flushed. There was no way around
It was like
and
the
I could not
size
believe
of
that
an
came out of-
Arizona iced tea, 99 cent. The big tall boy.
Yeah.
No,
The
it was
tall
amazing.
Arizona 99 cent.
They got some balls printing that on the can because you're like, but this could go up. But they're like, nope,
99 cents.
That's a lot of.
Santitos did that too. They used
Yeah,
to do
they
one.
changed
It
it,
used to be
though.
99 cents. That was 129. Now it's 229. Now it's 3.99. Oh, you know what? I'm just gonna buy Tostitos now, Santitas. You know what? You've priced me out.
So what did you do, sir?
Priced me out.
Well, this was before smartphones, so I couldn't take a picture of it. So I went
That
back
was your
down
first
to the
thought?
front
Oh my
desk,
God!
and
Your first thought was World Star of Turds.
That's a guy for you.
I got the rest of my coworkers, and we all went back up there, and I showed
Oh,
it to them.
my
We all
God.
gathered around.
Come look at this thing.
And then we high fived.
But it wouldn't flush. There was nothing we could do to get it to flush, so eventually we put all our heads together and we decided to get a pencil, and one of my coworkers had to break it up with a pencil.
That's too
and-
small. That's too close. Proximity. No, you could have found something.
You fast stab it. I got a
No.
pencil right here. So you take a pencil. Look at me.
meter-long ruler.
You
or
fast
something.
stab it.
You get a
No,
pencil.
you fast stab it
Too
with a pencil.
close.
You
No.
wrap your hand in toilet paper.
No.
You
Come on.
hold the pencil with your mummy
Yeah, yeah.
hand, and you go,
Stab a Coca-Cola turd? No.
They call it the doo-doo tattoo.
Tattoo.
Why did they agree to do that? Because I feel like if you worked at the library,
You guys
night
are a
shift,
bunch of F-offs.
You're like, I'm not doing that. Let's leave that up to management and a janitor of some sort. Like, I'm just
Yeah,
here
yeah.
as a student. I work at the library.
Yeah.
This is not in my job description.
I would just keep flushing it until it like exploded
No, no.
or something. You know, like doesn't it disintegrate? Most of them, if they
There was
retain,
no flush in this thing.
it's
it was
not
rock hard,
no, but
too.
it's
I mean-
not a
It's rock
stone.
hard?
It's not a stone.
Yeah,
if it absorbs
eventually.
enough water, it will explode because my daughter will do these big.
Really dehydrated.
Maisie will leave big Arizonas, and I'll walk in there and I'll be like, "How long has that Arizona been sitting?" And it's been sitting. This big 99-cent Arizona's been sitting for 2 days, and then you flush it, and it literally explodes.
I remember. So the person agreed to do this because when I started working at Champ Sports, I was the stock boy.
You were the pencil stabber.
And then the manager tried to tell me that the stock boy was in charge of cleaning the bathroom.
That's true.
And I was like, I will not do that. Because I just said, there's other jobs. I work hard back here. Like, I do a good job. I'm not cleaning the bathroom. No, thank you. And then they were like, all right. And they just got some other person to do it.
Yeah.
And that's what I learned. Like, you can say no to your boss.
There will be somebody who does it.
Because guess what? They're not going to fire you for that. And they know in the back of their head that this is too much to ask you anyway. Like, they know. Like, they feel bad for asking you.
Yeah.
They know how much you get
You just
paid.
got to say it confidently.
We had a strong sense of duty for our job.
All of this for the setup for that. All of this for that. You know what? Well done, sir. Well done.
Do you want a straw hat for your
Keep
trouble?
up the great work.
Do you want
no.
to? Hey, do you want
Thank you.
Do you want a straw hat?
I do.
All
Okay,
right.
well then email show@tomandan.com, email your address, and
Tell us
and,
your
and a
doo-doo
picture
tattoo.
of your hand holding a pencil. All right, bye.
See ya.
Thanks for all of your content. We appreciate you.
Oh,
No
thank you,
problem.
man. Love you too. Be good. What a
He
nice
started
man.
out really nervous, and then
No, we calmed him
He's
down.
right
We have
into
that
the-
effect on people. I think it's by chirping. I think I calm people down because they're like, man, that guy's like trying to make people comfortable. Did I make you uncomfortable the other day at Publix when I chirped up to almost everybody in there? I was like dancing through the aisles, and I'm like, hey there, Maddie. How you doing?
No,
How the
no.
kids? Hey there, Bob. Hey, Billy.
No, I
Hey,
ignore
little
that.
Joe. How's
you
your
just
wife
ignore it?
doing? How's her melanoma? Better? Great job.
Again, the people that chirp back to you, I think they are other chirpers. They like it. It makes me
Yeah,
uncomfortable
yeah.
when you're chirping at the person that I look in their eyes. I'm like, this person does not. They hate their
But
life.
I don't think that happens very often.
It doesn't.
I don't
because
think. I think
you-
I'm a good chirper. I'm a sniper chirper.
You get into the work mode, and you're like, I have to pretend.
I'm
to be,
a sniper chirper. Who's that guy that was killed at the gun range? I'm like that guy.
No, come on.
There's been quite a few of
I'm
those.
I'm the last chirper. I'm like there's something.
Come
Yeah,
on.
I don't know. That was a tragic story.
So
really sad.
Back to Loose Black. It's interesting to me when you get to a point in your career at 72 years old that you still. Like, and I know he took a break, and this, I looked at some of his stand up about like this particular tour, and he talks a lot about like doing nothing for so long during
Yeah.
COVID and
It
stuff.
was driving me crazy.
So I understand he probably had a long break, and then he now this is his first big tour, probably after COVID. But he's still doing it, and like you said, it's take a month off, and then he's going to hit it again. And so
Yeah, I feel like he's never not touring.
that's what these guys do.
Keeps him alive.
Now-
It also keeps
but
him
also-
young. I mean,
but-
does he sound old to you guys?
But also,
Not to me.
we all currently, my mindset at 40 is looking at 72. Like, I hope to not be working then, but I think by the time you get there, there's nothing
I'm
else to
still
do.
working,
Well,
yeah.
there's nothing. You want to keep working. You want to keep busy because what else? What the hell else are you going to
Also,
do?
like-
Sit down and
He's not married. He
nothing?
doesn't have kids.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? He's just traveling the world meeting people.
And even if you did have kids
Taking
and your
photos.
grandkids, like you see, even if you're an active grandparent and you see your grandkids, twice a month, still gives you a lot of free time to work. You know what I'm saying? Like, what
I'm
else?
sorry,
What
but
is he
you know
gonna do?
the term active shooter has ruined the term active grandpa. Because when you said, what if you're an active grandfather? I'm like, where? I got scared for a second.
Yeah, I think about that, like how active of a grandparent.
I'm already
on.
I'm already inactive at 46. Like I can barely walk. Like it's no BS.
No.
I kind of wanted to
not
ask him, but
physically.
then I was like, I don't know. Maybe that's a bad thing to bring up. But he was married once.
I was married
for
once.
10 months. And then never got married again.
How old?
26.
That must have been, he had enough. 10 months
Because
is
it's
all
not
it
like he
takes.
was like super young either. You're almost 30.
You know what?
It's not like you're 19.
I could be married to Andrea for 10 months and still have Maisie and get about what I get out of it now. 10 months is about all you need, I feel.
There is, I feel like, certain people in this world that once they pass like a point of no return, that they're never going to get married.
Yeah.
My buddy Logic Man, which I was talking to you guys about before this, like
yeah, some people just don't want to get married. I get it, but it's just. odd.
I feel like at his age, and he's been so set in his ways now, so in his logic ways and the way he lives his life, that adding another person to this is virtually impossible. Because
does he get in relationships at all, or he just hooks up?
He gets in relationships
and there's feelings involved and stuff, but it's just.
Well, I think the ultimate problem is that you end up in a relationship. You have to
compromise,
and then you have to not do things a certain way, and then maybe like, hey, not mention your feelings or not mention how this bothers you, or like, do things their way. There's for sure a compromise that you hold your tongue, and then after years of grinding you down,
you don't care anymore.
You just are numb to it. And then you're just like, well, I'm not happy, but I'll just sit here. I think.
You're right. You're right.
Messing around.
I mean, if we go backward, but you're right. If we back into what we were talking about, Lewis, I think it complicates things, right? I mean, like what he's got now, and the way he has it figured out, and the way he gets to perform and write and be in a tour bus and tour. It's very comfortable. It's very organized. He is the owner of it. He commands it.
It's still work, though. Like,
tons of work.
Because, like, with all these shows, like, he still has to do media to promote, right? And then, so, his stand-up, like, you get that down pretty well, right? But then all the other stuff, like, I was talking to someone, it may not seem like work if we do an appearance or something, right? But the behind the scenes of it, like, I want this appearance to go well. I need to promote it.
I think it's the hardest thing we do.
This
is, to me, where we are at ease. You know, like in here, we control it. We're talking to celebrities. We're doing the show. We're entertaining. When we do the events, there's so many other variables that it's so much more difficult, I feel like.
So then, and you forget about all the behind-the-scenes work and energy it takes to do it. So, like, even when it's set in motion. He's got people. He's got booking agents. Like, his whole tour is already set and stuff. But he gets the emails from, like, Hard Rock or some other venue he's playing where it's like, hey, we're, we need 25% more tickets till we hit our goal. Yeah. And then, so it's like, all right, I got to do some extra media in this town, and it's like it's a grind, right?
People don't realize that venues do tell you if you're not selling.
Yeah, and then so you do that. Not that he needs help.
No. But that's the way the business works.
But so then it's like then you gotta get on the airplane and fly to Orlando, then check into your hotel, and then you have to get up the next morning and find hopefully they have free breakfast. Like all these little things, a pain in the ass, like for a 72-year-old man to go through. Yeah. And then you would think, like I'm thinking in my mind, like I don't want to do this anymore. Like I just want to do something I want to do instead of but maybe that he wants to do it, and that's fascinating to me because you want to work.
I think he definitely does. Yeah. He seems like a workaholic,
and I think as you get older, I think you realize that the work is part of the equation to keep you alive. I think I will be one of those people. You know, I mean, I enjoy.
Yeah, but you enjoy doing the things you enjoy. But I don't think you'll be hitting doing appearances, stuff like that. When you're things that you don't want to do necessarily. Not that you don't want to do appearances, but like.
No, I know what you mean.
Like all the events and stuff, like all that is encompassed with this job.
Yeah, but I like these.
Yeah.
I'm saying those are more difficult, but I still like them.
Yeah. But it's like I'm trying to think of the things you don't like to do. There's got to be elements of the job. Like for me, it's there are certain elements of looking at all the advertisers we have, making sure they are going through every single one, making sure they all have the right amount of love. And
maybe we'll have people to do that.
And then
we still get to do the stuff that's fun because it looks like he does have a good team. It looks like he has, from what I can, I'm sure he'd be very honest about this. He doesn't seem like the type of person to hide anything. But it seems like he has a couple of dudes, 2 or 3 that travel with him. It looks like he has a merch guy. It looks like he has a filming, a social media guy. And it looks like maybe he has an assistant. And they have a drone because he's always doing a shot of him in front of his bus. He does the middle finger. Drone flies straight up in the air, does a backdrop of this beautiful area of where he's at. It's a brilliant idea, by the way.
Yeah,
Then he prints out all the different cities and where they're going, where you can find them, or maybe he says, welcome to Lexington, Kentucky, or something. It's really well done, though.
Yeah, but even with that drone shot, that means someone's texting you, his guy. He's like, hey, come outside the bus. We need to get this drone footage. You need to stand there for half an hour. But you, like, even when
not even a half an hour, 35 seconds.
But I think it's longer than that. You know these camera guys. They were like, hey, we need the shot.
This looks very... like easy breezy. It does.
Well, like when we were doing our BDM event, when our camera guy's like, "Hey, I need you to do this," you're like, "Oh, God damn it, I don't want to do it."
But he's not speaking. It's him standing there.
Yeah.
It's a drone shot. It's just him looking into the camera. He gives a middle finger. The drone goes straight up. That's it.
Yeah.
That's the only shot. Like the ones that most of our guys are like, okay, you're Dan. This is the beginning of the beer fest. I need you to be energetic. I'm like, oh God.
Yeah. But I'm sure Lewis Black probably doesn't want to. He probably told him, like, I'm not speaking. I'll do the middle finger, and you can get this. But he still has to go outside the bus.
Yeah.
Stand there. They have to get the lighting right. It's all a micro grind that it amazes me.
Micro grind. I write that down.
People are still like he's willing to still do at his age.
I'm looking at his merch because he had a Lewis Black Friday deal.
Yeah, I want that Stay Negative shirt.
His anger button is literally just like our old man button.
It's a little skinnier though. It would fit under your. Yeah. I might pick it up for your windowsill.
I think it yells obscenities, though. So
we wouldn't be able to use it. He has a bobblehead. He's got a shirt that says Stay Negative. That's
How
awesome.
have we never done bobbleheads yet?
They're expensive, dude. I looked into it.
Yeah.
Really expensive. That initial mold, you gotta have some monies.
And it's one of those things where, okay, they're $13 to make individually if you order 1,000 of them, right?
Yeah.
So then
and then we can't push 1,000 bobbleheads.
Then we spent $13,000 on bobbleheads, and Eric's got them in his living room because we don't have space for them.
If you order 100 of them, they're $26.
Yeah.
And then so now you got to sell the bobblehead with shipping and everything for $35.
And who wants to buy that?
Yeah, exactly. They're selling a $35 bobblehead.
Norm said he's good for $5.
Well, if you guys, I'll revisit it again if you guys want bobbleheads.
Yeah, so then to make any profit...
Wait, we don't know a guy with a 3D printer that can make us bobbleheads?
No, 3D printed is like, guess what? I bought one.
Yeah?
Yeah. I bought one for May. That was what she wanted.
But it's that kid's one, right?
Yeah, it's the toy box one. The toy box one that makes like all the... Like, it's got the most support. And that was my, when I did all the research, and if you're doing these things, this is just how I usually shop for these type of items, not to pivot all over the blanking place. But you got to get the one that has the most support and has the most back end. Like, people using it, like, if you can't get the best. If you get the best, you're just going to be on your own, right? And I don't know my ass from a hole in the wall when it comes to this, right? So you got to get the one that's, like, rudimentary, tons of people using it, industry standard. So we got the toy box one. It wasn't that bad. They had an awesome I did good on Black Friday sales this year, especially those.
I didn't look at any damn deals.
Dick's Sporting Goods, man. Dick's Sporting Goods has lost their mind. It made me think they're going out of business.
Is the sale real? Like, or can you find that same sale at a different time? Like, will they
probably at a different time? Yeah,
you know, but because that's I would use Black Friday.
Yeah, it's all marketing.
But I feel like they're just marking it down
Memorial Day sale
from
it's
the
like
MSRP.
Same thing.
You know, so like, are you actually saving by buying that weekend or the Black Friday?
We did, and I'll tell you why. So my daughter wants. She won't listen to this. My daughter wants new skates. That's one of the items on there.
Oh,
but
we could have grabbed her a pair yesterday.
I know, right? There were like 1,000 pairs of skates. But like they're expensive. So, and she wants real ones. She's kind of outgrown her, like, she had a pair of kid skates. They're good, you know, but now she wants, like, real skates. So we wanted to get her, like, a brand that, like, we could, like, buy wheels for, that you can buy parts for,
yeah,
right?
Customize.
Like K2. So, and Andrea actually used to have a pair of K2s. So we were searching for it, and we went on the Dick's website, and they had them for, like, 50% off because they're changing models. It's kind of like what you used to do with snowboard boots. You wait for the ones that are old, and you get up to the time, and then you go like, who cares? Like, because she doesn't care about, you know, any... Yeah, she doesn't skate professionally. So, but it was like, we got a pair of $100 and some odd skates for like $50. Like, way cheap.
Nice.
Like, way better deal. Now, will they do that again throughout the year? Probably. But this one worked out because we just looked up the model numbers.
Yeah.
And we knew that this was like these are 2020s, actually. They're 2 years old. so we were able to get them. They're not the latest and greatest.
Right.
All right. We'll see you next week.